Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, counter-spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve. Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet. Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into a time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
A Sunday full of comedy with episodes of the First Nighter program, the Stan Freberg Show, Dellie Ellis and A Date with Judy, and the Magnificent Montague. We'll cap it all off with another episode in the serial Superman. That's all coming up on this Sunday, the 4th day of August, 216th day of the year, 217th day of the year, I should say, 149 days remaining. It was on this date in 1693, it's believed that Dom Perignon invented champagne. In 1735, printer John Peter Zenger, defended by Andrew Hamilton, acquitted of libel in a case that helped foster freedom of the press. In 1892, Lizzie Borden's father and stepmother killed with an axe in Fall River, Massachusetts. And we think we know who did it. In 1914, Germany invaded Belgium, and in response, Britain declared war on Germany as well. Now, in 1916, Denmark ceded the Danish West Indies, including the Danish Virgin Islands, to the U.S., $25 million. I think it was a good buy. In 1944, Anne Frank and her family found hiding in Amsterdam by Nazis. In 1964, President Johnson ordered military forces in Vietnam to take action against the communist forces in reaction to attacks in the Gulf of Tonkin.
We Americans know, although others appear to forget, the risk of spreading conflict. We still seek no wider war. I have instructed the Secretary of State to make this position totally clear to friends and to adversaries, and indeed to all. I have instructed Ambassador Stevenson to raise this matter immediately and urgently before the Security Council of the United Nations.
President Johnson on this date in 1964. On that same date, the bodies of 3 civil rights workers, Michael Schwerner, Andrew Goodman, and James Chaney, found in an earthen dam 6 weeks into a federal investigation backed by President Johnson. It wouldn't be until 2005 Edgar Ray Killian, an outspoken white supremacist, was found guilty of the murder some 41 years later. In 1966, a growing controversy over a comment by John Lennon that the Beatles were more popular than Jesus had some radio stations boycotting the lads from Liverpool collecting and burning Beatles records.
This is Doug Layton and Tommy Charles. We're reminding you that our fantastic Beatle boycott is still in effect. Don't you forget what the Beatles have said.
Don't forget to take your Beatle records and your Beatle paraphernalia to any one of our 14 pickup points in Birmingham, Alabama, and turn them in this week if possible.
I wasn't making a big statement. I was not in a good mood, and there'd been a record out or something, and maybe it wasn't going so well, or they'd been knocking us in the press, you know. They were always either loving us or hating us. There was never anything in between, same as they do with Dylan or any of us now. And I was in a bad mood. I said, slipping, we're bigger than Jesus. Just no thought whatsoever like that. When you print it, it looks like it's a statement. In England, nobody took any notice. You know, they know. This guy's blabbing off. You know, who is he? But over here, you know, some lunatic gets his clan mask on and starts running around and burning crosses. So it was that flippant.
The apology Lennon offered not for the message he was trying to convey, but for conveying it in a way that confused its meaning. In 1977, President Carter signed a congressional act that established the Department of Energy. In 1987, the Federal Communications Commission rescinded the Fairness Doctrine, which had required radio and television stations to fairly present controversial issues, felt to be the beginning of talk radio. In 1993, a federal judge sentenced LAPD officer Stacy Kuhn and Lauren Powell to 30 months in prison for violating motorist Rodney King's civil rights. And in 2007, NASA's Phoenix spacecraft was launched. Phoenix, a robotic spacecraft on a space exploration mission on Mars under the Mars Scout program. Passing away on this date in history, Hans Christian Andersen, Frank Fontaine. You remember him in the Jackie Gleason show, Jack Benny show, and he was Crazy Guggenheim on the Gleason show. Also actor Melvin Douglas, actor Victor Mature, the voice of Garfield, Lorenzo Music, and Lee Hazelwood. Birthdays on this date include the amazing Louis Armstrong.
The shark has pretty teeth, dear, and he shows them pretty white. Just a jackknife as McHeath, dear, and he keeps it out of sight.
Louis Armstrong, born on this date in 1901. Also celebrating birthdays today, composer William Schumann, journalist Helen Thomas, for years the senior White House reporter for UPI and many agencies. Also singer Timmy Euro and Richard Belzer from Law and Order, all born on this date.
Hi, this is Jeff Foxworthy. It is now time for the birthday announcements. The following people are now officially older than dirt.
Billy Bob Thornton, 69 years old today. Former pro wrestler. I saw him wrestle in 1992 and in Florida, and he was just amazing. Dean Malenko. He now is an AEW producer at 64 years of age. His health is not the greatest. We salute him. Barack Obama, former president of the United States, 63 years old today. From Lost and the Hawaii Five-0 reboot, Daniel Day Kim, 56. Retired NASCAR racer Jeff Gordon, 53. One of the people who was there at the beginning of All Elite Wrestling, now back in TNA, Frankie Kazarian, 47. Kurt Busch, racer for NASCAR, 46. The Duchess of Sussex and former actress Meghan Markle, 43 today, and a couple of twins, Cole Sprouse and Dylan Sprouse. Cole was Jughead in the Riverdale TV series, and they both were in The Sweet Life of Cody and Zach. 32 years old today are the Sprouse twins, Cole and Dylan. Those just a few of the people who celebrate the 4th day of August as their birthday, and if this happens to be your birthday,
We baked you a birthday cake.
If you get a tummy ache and you moan and groan and woe,
Don't forget we told you so. Happy birthday!
Happy
birthday! Make a wish, dear, and blow out the candles.
Here they go.
our very classy way of saying happy birthday to you. Alrighty, we start off 71 years ago, August 4th, 1953, an episode of the First Nighter program in its waning years, but Barbara Luddy and Olan Soule in Two Loves Had She. That's next on Classic Radio Theater.
Have you ever asked a naturalized American how he or she feels about the business of voting? If you have, it's probably given you a whole new slant on the matter. To those men and women who were born in other countries, the right to vote is a precious privilege, and they line up before the voting booth on Election Day with the same high sense of pride and responsibility that one might feel upon being awarded some rare degree. Actually, the right to vote should give us all the same heady thrill. It is we, you and I, who determine the course of our country and the conditions of our own lives with those votes we cast on Election Day. Just one reminder, make sure your opinions will be counted. Make sure you cast your vote by being very sure to register. Registration days differ in varying localities. Check on the time in your community and get your name on the rolls. Then take advantage of all of America's media of communication for informing yourself on the issues involved. And then when Election Day comes, go to the polls with pride and responsibility and vote.
Classic Radio Theater gets underway here with an episode of the First Nighter program from NBC. This goes back 71 years to August 4th, 1953. Two Loves Had She.
NBC presents the First Nighter program, starring Barbara Luddy and Olan Soule. Theater time on the Great White Way. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, we're about to attend the premiere of a new show at the Little Theater off Times Square. Here is our host for the evening, the genial First Nighter.
Good evening. My cab is waiting. Won't you step in? All right, driver, to the Little Theater. Up Broadway, across 42nd Street, past gay crowds and twinkling signs into the heart of Theaterland. There ahead is the Little Theater off Times Square. Well, here we are.
Have your tickets ready, please. Have your tickets ready, please.
Good evening, Mr. First Nighter. The usher will show you to your seats.
Thank you. We'll go right in. Tonight's play is a bright and broad comedy entitled Two Loves Had She by Anthony Wayne, starring Barbara Luddy and Olan Soule, featuring Verna Felton, and produced and directed by Joseph T. Ainley.
Curtain. First curtain.
There's the signal for first curtain. The house lights are out. And here's the play.
Nana! Nana!
Oh, stop shouting like a hog caller.
Well, where are you?
Out here in the sunroom.
Oh, for goodness sakes. Nana, I'm in a hideous predicament.
What again?
Oh, but this is serious, Nana. I may be jailed for bigamy.
Well, you can't... For what?
Bigamy. Isn't that when a girl has one husband too many?
No, not necessarily. You can have one husband too many and still not be a bigamist. But how'd you get into this?
Well, I didn't mean to, but I'm engaged to two men.
Engaged? Oh, well, that's a relief. At least you haven't married them.
Well, it's no relief to me. They both expect to marry me.
Appears to me you have only one solution.
Yes? What's that?
Shoot yourself.
Oh, now, please be serious, Nana. I've got to get out of this.
All right. What do I have to do?
Who said you had to do anything?
No one, but I will. I'm always pulling your chestnuts out of the fire.
Henry and Barry are not chestnuts.
Well, they'll be burned plenty when they discover they've only a half interest.
Well, as long as you want to help, here's what I had in mind.
Yes?
Well, you see, I'm not really sure which one I like the best, but as long as it's got to be one, I've decided on Henry.
Very white of you, I think.
Well, now, the question is what to do about Barry.
Yes. When are you going to tell him he's out on his ear?
Oh, nothing as crude as that. Barry's a darling, really. I'll always want him for a friend.
You two ought to be lifelong friends after you've kicked him in the slats.
Well, I think Barry's fickle.
The wretch.
And I have a plan worked out. I'll just make him fall in love with another girl. And then he'll ask to break our engagement, see? Now, I just know that Barry's the type who'd fall for Daphne Ward. So I'm arranging a house party up at the summer cottage. I'm inviting Henry and Barry and Daphne, and you're to be the chaperone.
Chaperone or referee?
I'm positive it'll solve everything, Nana.
Yes, you've got something there. It should either cure 'em or kill 'em.
Then you'll go?
Babs, I wouldn't miss it for the world. Just a minute. Yes?
Oh, how do you do?
I do all right. What do you want?
Is Miss Babs Chapin here?
No, she's gone down to the station to meet some guests.
Oh, well, I'm one of the guests.
Well, why aren't you down at the station?
I didn't come on the train. I drove up.
Well, leave your car outside and come in.
Thank you. I suppose you're Babs' grandmother.
But I hope you didn't think I was her niece.
No.
Are you two engaged?
Yes. Did she tell you?
No, but I could tell by the silly look on your face.
Oh, gosh, does it show that much?
What, your face?
No, I mean...
Never mind. Well, which one are you?
My name's Barry Thomas.
I see.
Say, do you know a man up here with one leg named Wilson?
I'm not sure. What's the name of his other leg?
Oh, my. He used to live here 15 years ago. But I guess he's gone now. Hey, you've certainly got a grand spot here.
Think so? Well, the roof leaks, the floors creak, the doors won't shut, and the screens won't fit. Otherwise, it's fine.
Have you any idea where Babs wants to park me?
I think she's giving you the room at the end of the hall on the second floor. You can put your things up there if you want to.
Yeah, I think I will.
Oh, dear. Here comes the rest of them.
Hey, Nana, is there any word from Barry?
Yes, he's here.
Oh, swell. Come on, Henry and Daphne.
Well. So this is Henry and Daphne. Which one is Henry?
Oh, Mrs. Chapin, aren't you a scream? I'm Daphne.
What have you been doing, rolling in the mud?
Can you imagine, Nana? Daphne was standing on the curb waiting to cross the street, and a car came whizzing by.
And positively drenched me with mud from head to foot.
Yeah, a fella like that ought to have his license taken away.
Oh, Henry's been so considerate of me coming up on the train.
So you're Henry.
Discovered at last.
But where's Barry, Nana?
He's upstairs unpacking.
I'm just dying to meet him, Bab.
Oh, he's a lamb. You'll be crazy about him, Daphne.
Yeah, he's just precious, Daphne.
Oh, now shush, Henry. Don't be jealous.
Jealous? Why, I'm not jealous.
The idea, Babs. Why, if he's jealous, I'm your grandmother.
Well, that's absolutely... Hey, wait a minute. You are her grandmother.
You said it.
Well, suppose I show you to... Oh, hello, Barry.
Hello, Babs. Hi, Henry.
Barry, dear, I want you to meet Daphne.
He's the one! That's the man. I'd know him anywhere.
Daphne, what in heaven's name are you talking about?
That's the man who splashed me.
Barry?
Uh-oh.
What is this?
I suppose you don't remember driving through a puddle in town this morning and splattering mud all over Daphne?
He did it on purpose and then turned and stuck out his tongue at me.
Why, I'm sure you must be mistaken, Daphne.
Wait a minute. Are you the dizzy twit who was powdering her nose in the middle of Jackson Street this morning?
Dizzy twit?
He means you.
I'll have you know you ruined my dress. Just look at me now.
Must I?
Now, you just watch your language there, Barry.
Because of that fool girl posing out in the street, I almost hit a lamppost.
Well, it's too bad you didn't.
Now, please, I wanted you two to be friends.
Friends? They act like they're married.
I think he's the most objectionable person I've ever met.
Darling, if I'd gone straight this morning instead of through the mud puddle, you wouldn't even be thinking now. You'd be a grease spot on Jackson Street.
The man's a savage.
He's wonderful.
Now, stop it. Stop it, all of you. I'd think the least you could do would be polite to each other as long as you're all my guests.
I never want to see that awful man again.
Deliver me from a female like that.
I'm going to my room. Where is it, Babs?
First room on the right. You're directly across the hall, Henry.
Come on, Daphne. I'll take your things up.
I'll go put my car up.
Oh, all my swell plans.
You know, I'm afraid Barry is too fickle for Daphne.
Oh, hush.
You got a nice, chummy crowd.
What'll I do, Nana? Barry's simply got to fall for Daphne.
You might try tripping him.
I think I know what to do.
What?
Just wait and see. I'll fix this.
And the curtain comes down on the first act of tonight's play in the Little Theatre off Times Square.
Smoking in the outer lobby or downstairs, please. Smoking in the outer lobby or downstairs, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, Vincent Pelletier.
Friends, every night of the week, NBC Radio broadcasts programs to amuse, entertain, and enlighten you, the listener. Just for example, listen to Confession, the true tragedies of the criminal world. And also be sure to hear NBC's newest comedy character, Cousin Willie, as each week over many of these stations, he leads you on a happy 30-minute trip into Laughland. Yes, make it a habit to tune where you hear the familiar 3 NBC chimes.
Curtain. Second curtain.
The first nighters are hurrying down the aisles to their seats. The lights have dimmed, and here's the second act of Two Loves Had She.
Wait a minute, Barry.
Well, Henry and Daphne are in the water already. Aren't you coming?
Yeah, but I want to talk to you for a second.
Oh, sure.
Sit down here on the sand.
Anything you say, my love. What's on the fire?
Why don't you be nice to Daphne?
Well, I'm engaged to you, aren't I?
Yes, of course, but she's my guest, and I want her to have a good time.
Well, Henry seems to have taken quite a shine to her.
Yes, but you ought to be nice to her.
I like you best.
Nonsense. Look at that cute figure. Mine can't compare with hers.
No, I know it can't, but I'm still...
What?
I said I know it doesn't.
Is that so?
Well, you said it couldn't, didn't you?
Well, yes, but you don't have to agree so readily.
All right. All right, then. She's got a figure like the letter H.
Well, the real reason is Daphne is pretty crazy about you.
Well, as long as you're going... She's what?
Well, she really is, Barry. She was standing in the street this morning trying to attract your attention. She wanted to ride up here with you.
Is that on the level?
Oh, she really has it bad.
Oh, the poor kid.
Yeah. So you see, a little attention would mean a lot to her.
Yeah, you're right, Babs. I'll give the kid a break.
Swell. Let's go in the water now.
Say, Babs, will you pin this dress for me?
Sure, hold still.
You know, Barry's really rather nice, isn't he?
Yes.
I think he is. He was just darling to me down at the beach this morning. He's been so nice to me all afternoon. Do you think I ought to be nice to him?
Well,
I think he's sorry for what he did. But Henry is such a lamb, Babs. Honestly, he's the cutest thing. Don't you like him?
Well, I
don't know whether I like Henry or Barry the best. Which do you like the best, Babs?
Well, it's between Henry and Barry.
Henry's more of a gentleman, but Barry is quite dashing. And he's been so attentive. Where does he live?
Well, down
But
on...
you know what Henry said this afternoon? He said Barry was notorious for having an awful line, but psychologically he's unsound. Do you believe that?
Well,
But all men have a line. You just got to be smarter than they are. I always say whenever a man has a real
minute.
Why, Babs!
For heaven's sake, turn off your motor and park a while. Give me a chance to tell you something.
Well, I haven't said a word.
Barry is gaga about you.
Oh, well, how nice of him.
Mm-hmm. He was asking me about you this morning. You see, he's a little nearsighted, and that's the reason he splashed you yesterday. But he's just fallen for you in a pitiful way, Daphne.
How tragic! What do you think I ought to do about it?
Oh, make him feel at ease. Let him tell you how he feels. You know, you might feel the same way yourself.
Oh, well, I wouldn't want Henry to feel badly, but Barry is so precious. All right, Babs. I'll let him pour out his little old heart.
Well, you'll be doing a good deed, Daphne. Nana, it's working like a charm.
What is?
My plans for Barry and Daphne, haven't you noticed?
Confidentially, no.
Oh, but it's wonderful. I told each of them that the other was just lovesick. Now they're like two doves.
Squabs, you mean?
They're being so nice to each other. Poor Henry. Up till now, he's had to entertain Daphne, but now Barry's in there positively showering her with attention.
What's Henry doing between the raindrops?
Well, I haven't told him yet that he doesn't have to stay with Daphne, so he's still standing by.
Yes, like a dog after a bone.
Oh, Nana, I'm so relieved. Now, if Daphne will just play her cards right, she'll have Barry.
I think Daphne knows her cards pretty well. She's doing okay with a pair of jacks right now.
What do you mean?
Look out the window.
Where?
There. The three of them getting on horses.
Look, they're going riding. Well, I don't want to be left here alone.
Run then, run.
Henry! Hey, wait a minute. Hey! Oh, shucks. They're gone.
Looks like Daffy's doing all right.
What? Oh, they'll be back.
You hope.
Hi, Babs.
Hello, Barry.
You busy?
No. Where's Daphne?
Went down to the post office with Henry.
Oh. Well, sit down.
Yeah, I wanted to talk to you alone for a second.
Yes? There isn't a soul in sight.
Yeah. I hardly know how to begin.
Aren't you having a good time, Barry?
Oh, it's nothing like that. These last 4 days have been wonderful.
You've been awfully nice to Daphne.
Yeah, well, that's what I wanted to talk to you about.
Daphne?
Yeah, in a way.
In what way?
A serious way. What would you think, Babs, if we were to break our engagement?
Barry, you don't mean it.
Oh, now, please, Babs, don't take it too hard. I know it's a shock, but, well, I just can't help myself.
Oh, you mean you really love her?
She's just stolen my heart. Oh, she's so cute and I'm so fickle.
Well, I wouldn't want to stand in the way of your happiness.
Oh, I knew you'd take it this way, Babs. Besides, you'll learn to forget me in a few years.
Yes, I'll learn to forget. In a few years?
Well, sure you will, Babs. And thanks for being so understanding about it.
Not at all, Barry, not at all.
Why don't you two go out and help Henry and Daphne in with the packages?
Daphne? Well, I didn't know she was back. I'll go right out.
Hey, what's the matter with him? He acts like he was shot out of a gun.
Nana, it's worked. He's fallen for Daphne.
So what?
I'm free. Free to marry Henry.
Rat.
Oh, I knew it'd work. Nana, I tell you, I'm psychic. Now, listen, Henry will be in here in a minute, and don't let him leave until I get back.
Can I count on him leaving then?
Oh, hello. Where's Babs?
She'll be right back. Sit down and rest your mind.
Thanks.
You've been pretty successful, I understand, Henry.
I don't feel that I've done badly for a man who began life as a barefoot boy.
No. Of course, I've never yet seen a baby born with shoes on.
I don't get it.
Leave it lay.
Oh, Henry.
Oh, Babs, I'd like to have a very serious talk with you. Alone, if possible.
Subtle as a pile driver. I caught it okay. Whistle when the parlor's empty.
Thank you, Nana.
Babs, I find myself in a very awkward position.
Well, you are, kind of. Why don't you sit down here?
No. You don't understand. It's about us.
You mean we're both awkward?
Let's not beat about the bush. I'll come directly to the point. Barbara, I think we should terminate our engagement.
What?
I know this is going to be a staggering blow to you, but, well, I love another.
Henry Wagner, you don't mean...
Yes, you've guessed the awful truth. It's Daphne.
Oh.
Oh, heavens, quick, someone, get water, get something. She's fainted.
And the curtain comes down on the second act of tonight's play in the Little Theater off Times Square.
Smoking downstairs or in the outer lobby, please. Smoking downstairs or in the outer lobby, please.
And here, ladies and gentlemen, once more, Vincent Pelletier.
Friends, you'll get extra dollars to spend in less than 10 years just by investing today in United States savings bonds. Because for every $3 you put in, you'll get back $4 when your savings bonds mature. You'll feel more secure tomorrow if you buy United States savings bonds today.
Curtain. Last curtain.
There's the signal for the last curtain. The house lights are out. And here's the play.
Barbara, I think your attitude is extremely juvenile. You're behaving absurdly.
Oh, Henry, you can't do this. Oh, anyway, Daphne and Barry are in love.
Don't mention his name to me.
But they are. Barry told me just today that they want to get married.
And you're helping him. No, I see it all. You planned for him to come between Daphne and me.
Between Daphne
The
and...
man's nothing but an opportunist. He's without morals or principles.
Don't you talk about Barry that way.
He's been horning in on us the whole time we've been here, annoying Daphne.
Well, I like that, horning in on you when you're supposed to be engaged to me.
Well, it's all over, and I do it without regret now that I've learned how you scheme to hold me.
Henry!
I'll see you before I leave in the morning. Goodbye.
Has the hound of the Baskervilles left?
Oh, Nana.
What are you sniveling about?
Oh, Nana, everything's gone kablunk. perfectly miserable.
Oh, dry up and tell me what's the matter.
Henry's in love with Daphne.
Well, so the caterpillar became a butterfly, huh? Oh, forget it. You're well rid of him. After all, you still got Barry.
I wish I did have.
What do you mean?
Barry's gonna marry Daphne.
She gets along pretty well on half a brain, doesn't she?
I'm left like a rowboat when the tide goes out.
Well, no two men are worth any loss of sleep. Go on to bed. We'll figure it out in the morning.
Oh, Nana, I'm so unhappy. I wish Barry didn't love her.
Barry? What about Henry?
Oh, I hate him. He was so nasty.
Well, this is a bitter lesson, but it ought to teach you this. The plural of men, Babs, is menace. Good morning, dear.
Good morning, Nana.
Sleep?
Finally.
You're clearer about the whole thing now, aren't you?
Yes. I know one thing for certain
Yes?
now. It's Barry I loved all the time, and I'm going to tell him so this morning.
Sure?
Yes. Where are they all?
Haven't come down yet.
But it's 9:30. They won't sleep this late.
Well, go ahead and wake them then.
I will. Daphne! Daphne, it's time to... Oh, she's gone. Barry! Barry, are you in there? Barry? Barry, are you here?
What's the matter?
Nana, they've gone. Barry, Look, here's a note.
Well, read it.
Oh, Nana, I'm afraid to. Huh? Dear Babs, I'm sorry it had to end this way, but we all want happiness. Daphne and I are leaving tonight. I'm driving up to my cottage at Milford tomorrow to be married. Love, Barry.
Well, scuttle my stumps.
Nana, he's gone.
Where's Henry?
Oh, I haven't looked.
Come on.
Henry! Henry, are you there?
Open the door.
He's gone, too.
There's a note on his bed.
Oh, wait a minute. Dear Barbara, I thought it best for me to depart this way. Daphne and I love each other. I intend to marry her tomorrow at George Blaine's in Hackensack. Try and forget me, Henry.
Hackensack? With a whole world to choose from, he picks Hackensack. He'll probably honeymoon at Weehawken.
Oh, Nana, I've made such a mess of things.
Still love Barry?
More than I ever realized.
Maybe it isn't too late.
Well, how?
He said Milford, didn't he?
Well, yes.
But what? If he's worth anything, he's worth fighting for. If I wanted a man that badly, I'd go and get him.
You mean you...
Darn tootin' I would.
But what if Daphne's there?
What if she is? Take him right out from under her nose.
Nana, I do love him that much.
Well, then get going, and don't spare the horsepower.
Why, Babs.
Are you married yet?
Huh? What?
Are you still single?
Yeah, I guess so.
Where is she?
Who?
Daphne. She's in that room, isn't she?
Why?
Yes, she is, I know. But it doesn't make any difference because I came here for a purpose.
Now, Babs, now take it easy.
I don't care if she is in there or if she hears me.
Now, please, Babs, now please be careful.
Barry Thomas, I love you.
Well, I know, but... what did you say?
Oh, Barry, I never realized how much before now. You can't marry Daphne. You simply can't when I love you so much.
Well...
No. You do love me, don't you?
Sure.
I'll make such a good wife. Very much better than Daphne, really, I will.
Yeah, I guess you would.
Then say you'll give her up. Say it.
All right.
Oh, darling.
And we'll get married right away.
Yes. Oh, but Barry, don't you think you ought to go in there and tell her?
Tell her?
Yeah, tell Daphne.
Oh, but she isn't there.
What?
Well, she's marrying Henry this afternoon.
What?
Now, take it easy, darling. Take it easy.
You mean to say you deceived me?
Now, wait a minute.
Why, you two-faced, unprincipled...
Sit down, woman.
Don't you hit me.
Sit down.
Yes, Barry.
Now, I never said Daphne was in that room. You said it.
But the note you left, it said you were going to marry her at your cottage here.
No, it didn't, sweetheart. It said Daphne and I were leaving last night. We did. Daphne with Henry and I alone.
Then you knew Henry and Daphne were leaving?
Your grandmother heard them leaving and suggested that I do the same.
Nana, huh? But you did say you were getting married at Milford today.
That's right. To you.
You mean you knew I'd come running after you?
Just slow down. You're going around a curve. No, I didn't, but your grandmother seemed to be pretty sure you would.
Nana, again.
Sure. She's been my advisor all through this. She told me to come here and wait and that you'd come to your senses sooner or later.
Like that sly old fox. I thought she was working for me and she was helping you all the time.
Helping us, darling.
But why did you ask to break our engagement?
Grandma's advice. She figured if you got what you wanted, you'd be sure not to want it.
Oh, dear, I guess I've been an awful goon.
Well, you have what you want now?
Mm-hmm.
Are you sure you want it?
Mm-hmm.
Then come and get it.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen, the premiere performance of what looks like a new hit play on the Great White Way at the Little Theatre off Times Square. Miss Luddy and Mr. Soule are taking bows. Now they're joined by Verna Felton and the all-star supporting cast, Maureen Tuttle, High Upperback, and Paul Revere. Next week, join us again and bring your friends for a mystery melodrama. And now we move out of the theater and into the street.
Extra, extra, get your paper.
Here's your cab, Mr. First Nighter.
Thank you. Good night.
The First Nighter program, a copyrighted radio feature, is an NBC Radio Network production starring Barbara Luddy and Olan Soule. The part of the First Nighter is played by Rye Billsbury. Tonight's play was pure fiction and did not refer to real people or actual events. This is NBC, the National Broadcasting Company.
I am glad that last statement was there because I would hate to know those people. I really would. 71 years ago, August 4th, 1953, the First Nighter program here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Up next, Stan Freberg, as if you didn't think it could get wackier.
Here's a pretty shocking fact. Hundreds of millions of people behind the Iron Curtain are victims of vicious lies about the United States. Yes, communism continues to take the initiative in the propaganda war. We must not only stop the spread of communist influence among peoples that are still free, but we must also fight the tyranny of those it has already enslaved. The Crusade for Freedom, created by General Lucius D. Clay, offers each of us as individuals the opportunity to strike a blow for freedom. This blow can be struck through Radio Free Europe, an independent citizen-sponsored organization which broadcasts the message of democracy through the Iron Curtain every day. Hour after hour, it brings hope and truth to enslaved peoples, spiking lies and undermining the influence of red rulers. Radio Free Europe is a partnership of Americans and exiles of enslaved countries who broadcast to their compatriots in their own idiom. Join the crusade by contributing your truth dollar. Send your contribution to Crusade for Freedom, care of your local postmaster.
Now the last great classic radio comedy program, The Stan Freberg Show. This episode, originally broadcast 67 years ago, August 4th, 1957, has to deal with great moments in history and hi-fi.
Oh, man, I'll have to ask you not to gong like that.
Oh, well, yeah.
Right in my ear, man.
Well, I was just trying
It's too piercing, man. It's too piercing.
Well, see, the gong was to separate me from the commercials you just heard. I mean, I don't want people to think I'm a cigarette or a used car.
Well, what are you, man?
I'm Stan Freberg.
Too piercing, man.
Too piercing, yeah. Well, that's the breaks. Hit it, Billy.
Wow.
This is the fourth show of the series of a brand new radio series. From Hollywood, we present the Stan Freberg Show with the music of Billy May. Plus the songs of Peggy Taylor with Doris Butler, June Foray, Peter Leeds, and Judd Conlon, Rhythm Air.
You may not find us on your TV
Because in case you did not know, we're being brought to you on. Brought to you on. Brought to you on RADI.
the dramatic scenes we know you've been waiting for. The stage lights dim, and the spotlight finds our announcer, Burnside Mantle.
Thank you. Great moments in history. We bring you the story behind these moments. The time is April the 18th, 1775. The place, Charleston, Massachusetts. It is night, and high in the steeple of the Old North Church, 2 lanterns are gleaming. 1 if by land, and 2 if by sea. The British are coming.
Quick, Paul Revere, quick. The British are coming. Get on the horse. First you give me the money, then I'll get on the horse. So concludes another gem from the files of our historical stool pigeon and research man, Robert E. Tainter. Bob had to mail his expose in today as he's been temporarily detained. I hope they at least put a radio in his cell so he can hear the show. In answer to all the hundreds of letters we've received asking just exactly what yogurt is, I'm sorry, we don't know.
Pardon me.
Oh, yes, Peggy?
Well, yogurt, a dairy product, is prepared from milk, partly evaporated and fermented by Lactobacillus vulgaris.
Uh-huh. And for you true lovers of cupcakes and other goodies, that was the voice of Peggy Taylor. See, how did you know what yogurt was?
Oh, I know a lot of little things, Stan.
Mm-hmm.
You want to know the population of Winnetka?
No, that won't be necessary. Just glad you could drop by, Peggy. Gee, you look as pretty and perky.
Stan, why don't you just let me sing, huh?
Now, with the help of Judd Collins Rhythm Airs, here's Peggy Taylor. Sing, Peggy.
All right, Jack. I like the likes of you. I like the things you do. I mean, I like the likes of you. I like your eyes of blue. I think they're blue, don't you? I mean, I like your eyes of blue. Dear, if I could only say what I mean if I could mean what I say, that is, I mean to say that I mean to say that I like the likes of you. Your looks are pure delight. Looks like I like the likes of you. Oh, dear, if I could only say what I mean if I could mean what I say, that is, I mean to say that I mean to say that I like the looks of you. Your looks are pure delight. Looks like I like the likes of you. Looks like I like the looks of you.
High five. Just what does it all mean? We are fortunate to have with us the eminent electronics engineer and scientist, Dr. Herman Horn, who will demonstrate for us the meaning of the word hi-fi.
Thank you. And incidentally, hi-fi is 2 words hyphenated in the middle. The word hi-fi, 2 words. Now, I've told you once. I won't tell you again.
The words hi-fi, that's better, have become a part of our daily vocabulary. Still, many people do not completely understand. And so, it is to them that this lecture is dedicated. Doctor, one moment, please.
testing the equipment so I'll be ready for the lecture if that big fat mouth of yours ever stops flapping and you introduce me.
I'm trying to.
Well, try a little harder.
Yes.
Please.
Well, as Edison was to the incandescent lamp, as Whitney was to the cotton gin, as Abbey is to rents, so is Dr. Herman Horn to
Stereophantic, orthopedic, cinemaguana-ramophonic sound is the copyrighted name for my own personal hi-fi system, which I have developed.
What the good doctor really means is hi-fi, short for high fidelity, or music recorded with complete frequency and full dynamic range, plus great musical balance, then engineered and pressed with critical electronic precision.
Somebody asked you to say that?
Oh, nobody
just
said it.
Thought you'd throw it in. Is that it?
Oh, yes.
That it?
I just wanted to help, you know.
Well, that's very nice. You want to help. Say, let me show you how it can be a real help. Take your foot and put it in this bucket of salt water.
All righty.
There you are. Now, will you hang on to these two electrodes?
All righty.
Thank you. Hold it. To continue, ladies and gentlemen, here is some average sound you hear every day around the house, which my assistant, Mr. Strudelmeyer, is going to play through hi-fi. Listen. That was the mating call of the aardvark. Yes, you aardvarks with hi-fi sets, that was a good place in the record to test your equipment and get jollies at the same time. Listen again. You know what that was? That was the same mating call, only played backwards and slowed down. It is no longer attractive to aardvarks in this condition, but it gives my assistant Strudelmeyer goosebumps. Here is something you don't hear every day. That was the sound of Luella Parsons at the Brown Derby putting ketchup on a clam sandwich in hi-fi. Hey, you'd think you were right there with Lolly, wouldn't you? I tell you, somebody who appreciates hi-fi, that's a dog. They can hear all the good sounds you couldn't hear, like all the highs. You can only hear the fives. The average dog can hear up to 40,000 cycles. I'll play an oscillator for you. You write down a mental note of where you can't hear it anymore. You don't hear that, do you? That's the part the dogs like. Don't you wish you had dog's ears? Matter of fact, a friend of mine back in Scranton got so mad that his dog could hear more than he could, he went to a plastic surgeon and had dog's ears put on him. He couldn't hear for sour apples, but he got a part in the picture, Frankenstein meets the Wolf Man. Where was I? Oh, yes, dogs. I have recorded a whole symphony at 40,000 cycles for only dogs to hear. If you can hear it, believe me, worry a little. All righty, put on the record, Strudelmeyer. Down, Strudelmeyer. Down, Strudelmeyer. Take the record off. That's too bad. They get too emotional. Strudelmeyer. Strudelmeyer, the liver is for them.
So concludes the first of a series of fascinating lectures on hi-fi by Dr. Herman Horn. I feel sure that you, like us, will get a lot from these educational talks. The preceding 4 minutes of time has been relinquished by Stan Freberg in honor of Deafen Your Neighbors Week. The Lox Audio Theatre, brought to you by Lox Soap,
the only salmon-shaped bar that swims up tub. Now, here is your host, that grand star, with a wide, wide smile, C.B. Digby.
Good evening from Hollywood. Tonight we have for you a stirring psychological drama adapted especially for the Lox Audio Theatre from that lovable motion picture, Rock Around My Nose. Our stars are the screen's most lovable old codger, Mr. Evanston, Illinois, and that delightful child actor, Bobby Finster, recently starred in Pillow Fight at the OK Nursery School. As usual, after our play, I'll be talking with these glamorous stars in our very own green room. And now, from Hollywood, the Lox Audio Theatre presents Rock Around My Nose.
In the library of his palatial mansion, on his magnificent estate in Puce Hills, Connecticut, a troubled man sits aimlessly playing with his fabulous collection of pigeon blood rubies. As the priceless gems trickle from his aimless fingers and spill to the floor to be sucked down by a delighted cocker spaniel, Foster Farthington Chatsworth III, the lonely millionaire, is thinking deeply. He is... But let him tell us his problem.
I have lost all hope of getting close to my son, Julius Chatsworth IV. Since Julius was a baby, I've had trouble getting close to him. And now... Dad! There's Julius now. Julius, my son, come. Get close to me.
Are you kidding?
What's the matter, son? Let me get close to you, boy.
Well, that's what I wanted to talk to you about. Why you can't get close to me.
What is it?
Well, Dad, it's just as plain as the... Oh, what's the use? I can't tell you. So long, Dad.
Julius, where are you going?
I'm going out to pick up a girl.
But, Julius! What about your poor old father?
You get your own girl.
He was gone, and I still could not get close to him. Little did I know what was going on at the Puce Hills Sweet Shop.
Hiya, Julius. Oh, hi, Marty. How's things at the butcher shop?
Oh, I managed to do a little cutting up. How's with you?
Oh, the same old thing. Come down here, drinking straight shots, talk realistic dialogue. I'm not getting any younger. I made a mockery of my life. I want to get married.
But you're only 8 years old.
Oh, you're always throwing that in my face.
What's the matter? You cold?
No, I'm struggling inwardly.
Julius began to spend night after night at the Puce Hills Sweet Shop. I could no longer interest him in a hobby, so I took up a hobby. I began to study golf. And one day at the country club, as I was taking a lesson from the pro...
No, Mr. Chatsworth. No, you sliced again. You got to keep your eye on the ball.
Yes, I know, but that's very difficult, Mac. My nose overshadows it.
You got a pretty big proboscis.
It is a bit outside, isn't it?
Ooh, I wish I had that nose full of nickels.
That nose full of nickels. I had heard that phrase before, walking along the street. Hey, Kurt, get a load of that bugle.
Boy, would I like to have that nose full of nickels.
Nose full of nickels. Nose full of nickels. Nose full of nickels. Nose full of nickels. Nose full of nickels. Nose full of nickels. Stop it! I began to think about my nose. How many nickels would it hold?
I decided to find out. In my office next day.
Here are the nickels, Mr. Chatsworth. Banks sent all they have.
Excellent, Miss Braintree. Now I want you to pour them into my nose.
Are you kidding?
Not at all. I want to see how many nickels my nose will hold.
Well, you're the boss. Say, you'll have to stand on your head.
All right. Yep. How's this?
Perfect.
All right. Start pouring.
Okay. Well, I guess that does it. You can stand up now.
Okay. All right. Start counting, Miss Braintree. When the final count was in, I learned something new about myself. The number of nickels that my nose could accommodate amounted to $241.73. That 73 cents bothered me. Oh, well. That night in our drawing room, I confided in my wife, Mrs. Foster Chatsworth III.
Foster the Third, that's it. That's why you can't get close to your son, Julius. It's your nose. Remember when you used to pick him up from the cradle, you couldn't see him?
By thunder! I think you've hit it. And now that he's grown taller, whenever I try to get close to him, my nose knocks him down. That's why he backs away.
Pop Chatsworth the Third, there's only one thing to do.
Yes, I've got to get a nose job.
I'm ready for the last nose job.
And so I went to a first-rate nose shrinker.
There you are, Mr. Chatsworth. From now on, your nose wouldn't hold enough nickels for a local phone call.
Thank you very much, Doctor.
Julius, my son.
Who are you?
Why, I'm your dad. Foster Farthington Chatsworth.
The third.
Right.
Dad, you got a short nose.
Yes, son. Now I can get close to you.
And I can get close to you. Oh, Dad, I've missed you so.
No. It was my fault, son. I've been short-sighted and long-nosed.
Oh, Dad.
Julius, my son.
Only a nose I give you. Only a nose I give to you.
And so you have heard Rock Around My Nose, specially adapted for the Lox Audio Theatre. And now here in our very own green room with me are the stars of this lovable production, Mr. Evanston, Illinois, and little Bobby Finster. It's a great honor to have you in the green room, Evanston.
Well, it's a great honor to be in the green room, CB.
And that was a delightful performance you just gave, Bobby.
Well, I felt that, it was a challenge, CB.
Well, you met that challenge beautifully for an 8-year-old boy.
I think we can knock off that 8-year-old boy routine any time now, you know. Look, I'm a 37-year-old midget with a wife and 3 kids in Kansas City. In that order.
Tell me, Evanston, how did it seem to be working with little Bobby Finster again?
Perfectly miserable.
for? Well, surely you're joking.
It wasn't exactly a picnic for me, Mr. Evanston Has-Been, Illinois.
What do you mean, has been?
Ah, come on, you big ham.
What?
If you hadn't gotten this job tonight, they would have turned off your gas.
Why, you vicious little monster.
Take your hands off me, you old goat. Have a boy having you along.
Kick him in the teeth.
Leave me
We're
alone.
having a little fun here in our very own green room tonight, folks. I see our time is up. Now, next week...
Who cares about next week? How much do I get paid for next week?
Shut up, Minster, shut up.
What is all next week, CD?
Hey, what you doing after this show, baby?
What's doing with that tomorrow?
Keep away from her,
And
you.
so, friends, Lox, the only salmon-shaped bar that swims that tub, has brought you another formal interview in our very own little green room. Next week we present Love Thy Neighbor.
You big jerk!
This is C.B. Digby saying...
Take your foot out of my mouth.
Good night to you from Hollywood.
In Mr. H. Allen Smith's book, The Rebel Yell, there seems to be some dispute among Southerners as to how the actual Southern Rebel Yell went. Mr. Smith points out that there are certain schools who believe it went ha, yip, 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 wahoo, and other people down there think that it went tutti frutti, a wop bambooey. But I personally, having done a little research on the subject, believe that the Rebel Yell went like this. Yee-haw! Don't let me startle you. I'm just doing a Rebel Yell here to kind of kick things off, you know what I mean? There's the yellow rose in Texas that I am going to see. Nobody else could miss her, not half as much as me. That's right, so when excuse me, that's just a shade loud on the snare drum. She's the sweetest little rosebud that Texas ever knew. Her eyes are bright as diamonds, they sparkle like the dew. See, now, you covered up sparkle like the dew. One of the loveliest parts in the whole Texas is the only girl for me. You covered up the piccolos there. Where the Rio Grande? Where the Rio? Where? See, my feeling is that whilst I love the good snare drum, I feel that volume-wise it's just a little bit too much what you're doing there, see? See what I mean? See what I mean? Now you trying to hold it down, will you? Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Where the Rio Grande? Appreciate it. With a Rio Grande is flowing, and sorry's got that better. He walks along the river, and the quiet, oh, that's so much better. And oh, that she remembers when the parted long ago. You know that there's just a world of difference. Mercy, she's the sweetest little rosebud that Texas ever knew. Her eyes are bright as diamonds, they sparkle like the dew. See, now you're slipping back in your old habits again. Why do you do that? Why do you? Texas is the only girl for me. I love a good snare drum, you know, but I'm People, let's go back there. The snare drummer covered up the tra-la-las. We'll just do it again, that's all. Smart Ellie. See how lovely that turned out now? That's the darling part. Okay, banjo, go yug-dugga-dugga-dugga. That's it. Oh, now I'm going to find her, for my heart is full of wool. We'll do the things together we did so long ago. We'll play the banjo gaily. Excuse me, you ain't any kin to the snare drummer, are you? Sweetest little rosebud that Texas ever knew. Her eyes are bright. Why do you do that? Why do you burst out like that? There, take me. There, take me, that's all. From the yellow rose of Texas. Hold on. Hold on! Hold on there, you smart aleck Yankee drummer, you. Listen, you can cover up yellow. And you can cover up rose, buddy. But don't you cover up Texas. I don't mean to say you cover up Texas. I'll stick your head through that cotton-picking snare drum and see seed from the band, so help me Mitch Miller, I will. And the yellow rose of Texas will be mine forever. Come off, man, the record's over, you idiot. Stop it, I'll say. Stop, Judy, stop it. Stop it now. I'm getting out of here. He ruined the ending. One of the loveliest parts in the whole piece. Thank you. Thank you very much. Well, that's about it for this time around. I'll be back next week with a new throat.
Crazy.
Oh, yes, I forgot about you. Well, you've tried our show.
Yeah, man.
And you've tried other shows.
Yeah, man.
Well, what is your conclusion?
Well, your show is louder, man. It bugs me. And it's more piercing. Definitely more piercing.
Thank you. So until next week, this is Stan Freberg saying thanks for listening, God bless you, and good night.
The Stan Freberg Show is produced in Hollywood by Pete Barnum and is written by Stan Freberg, Pete Barnum, Jack Roach, and Doris Butler, with original songs by Stan Freberg. Featuring the music of Billy May, Judd Conlon through the Mayors, and the songs of Peggy Taylor with Doris Butler, Peter Leeds, and June Foray. Also in the cast is Hans Conried. Bud Soule speaking.
An amazingly creative man, Stan Freberg, 67 years ago, August 4th, 1957. Coming up tomorrow, Westerns with Fort Laramie, Gunsmoke, Fort Apache on the Screen Directors Playhouse with John Wayne. Also, the Screen Guild Theater, Christmas in Connecticut with Ronald Reagan and, Leon Belasco and Jane Wyman. And Claudia. That's all coming up tomorrow. But up next, let's go on a date with Judy.
Only a madman or a fool would intentionally set fire to one of our forests or woodlands. Yet 90% of our forest fires are started by people. Most of these man-caused fires are due to plain carelessness. A campfire left smoldering, a lighted match thrown from a car window, a cigarette not extinguished. In less troubled times, the waste due to forest fires would be tragic. In these dangerous times, it can be disastrous. Forest fires destroy natural resources we need to keep our country strong. They impede the production and transportation of critical defense supplies, interfere with military training, and may destroy military installations. Join in the fight against carelessness. Crush out cigarettes, cigar, and pipe ashes. Break matches in two after using. Drown all campfires, then stir and drown again. Find out the law before using a fire. One moment of carelessness can destroy national beauty and wealth that can never be replaced. Forest fires are a shameful waste because they can be prevented. Remember, only you can prevent forest fires.
Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, the summer replacement for the Bob Hope Show, A Date with Judy, starring Dellie Ellis. This goes back 82 years to August 4th, 1942, and a real pig baby.
Pepsodent invites you to have A Date with Judy. Well, let's see. It's a summer day at the Foster house. Nobody is home but Judy, and she's about to receive a visitor.
Oh, hello, Oogie.
Hello, Judy.
Gee, what are you doing here?
Well, I've come to bestow a great honor upon you, Judy.
An honor?
Mm-hmm. Judy, you know the guinea pig that's the mascot of the school football team?
Of course I know it. Its name is Baby, and it's a perfectly adorable guinea pig.
Yeah, well, it's been my duty and honor to take care of Baby for the team. And now, well, I gotta go on a vacation with my folks, and I've chosen you out of everybody I know for the honor of taking care of him while I'm out of town.
Me?
Uh-huh.
Why, that's awfully nice of you, Oogie.
Oh, that's all right. I regard you as a very reliable character, and I'm sure the team would back me up in my decision to the last man.
You think it would?
Yep. So on account of I'm leaving on this vacation right away, I'll bring Baby right over to the house immediately.
Well, gee, that's wonderful, Oogie, but pigs ought to, well, have a pen or something to live in, and we haven't any.
Oh, well, he won't care. He'll be perfectly satisfied living right here in the house.
Yes, but will my father and mother be satisfied?
Oh, what do they care? It's only for 2 weeks. My goodness.
Yes, but 2 weeks...
Judy, haven't you any school spirit?
Well, of course. But father and mother don't have much.
Don't you care about the future of the football team?
Well, naturally,
Then the least you can do is take care of its mascot. Baby has been very lucky for the team, you know. We only lost 6 games out of 8 last season. That was a big rise over the year before.
Well, I don't know, Oogie. I never took care of a guinea pig before. I wouldn't even know what to feed him.
Oh, well, you wouldn't have to worry about a thing, Judy. He'll eat anything. Look, I'll have him over here before you can say pig in a poke.
No, Oogie. On thinking it over, I don't think this house would be a very good atmosphere for him. Well, and vice versa.
Well, gee whiz, you'd certainly think a person would appreciate it when a big honor is bestowed upon them. But if that's the way you feel about it, it's okay with me. Gee whiz, you'd think a person would have more appreciation when...
Hi, Oogie.
Hello, Randolph.
What you doing here, Oogie?
Oh, I just wanted Judy to take care of a pig for me.
Will you pardon me a moment while I go in the house and clean my ears?
I mean Baby, the football team's mascot.
Oh, that pig.
Gee, Randolph, I'm desperate. I've been walking my legs off trying to get one of the kids to mind Baby while I'm out of town, and now Judy refuses the honor.
Well, the pig will probably be glad to hear that anyhow.
Gee, Randolph, I don't know what to do. My folks are sitting in a car in front of the house waiting to drive off on our vacation. I'm desperate.
Doesn't anybody want him?
No. Trouble with people is they have the wrong attitude about pigs.
I tell you what. Why don't you put him in a basket and leave him on somebody's doorstep? Then they'll have to take him in.
Oh, Randolph, that's a brilliant idea. Gee, that's just what I'll do. Thanks. So long, Randolph.
So long.
Boy, what an idea. And I know just whose doorstep I'll leave it on.
And that's how things start in tonight's Date with Judy, chaperoned by Pepsodent. You know, you can't change your features. You can't do a thing about the color of your eyes or the shape of your chin. But you can do something about your smile. If it's dingy, just switch to Pepsodent toothpaste. Because Pepsodent with Irium is quick to make teeth brilliantly clean and sparkling. You see, Pepsodent contains super cleansing ingredients that speed up the brushing action because they loosen, then flush away the filmy coating you can feel with your tongue. So give Pepsodent with Irium a chance to perk up your smile by putting a sparkle on your teeth. And now, let's get back. We have a date with Judy.
Randolph, I'm going over to Mitzi's. Gee, I hope Oogie doesn't feel too bad about me not taking the pig.
Oh, he won't. I just gave him a brilliant idea about what to do with it.
Well, just so I don't have to take care of it, I don't care what he does with it. Well, so long, Randolph.
So long. What's the matter?
Randolph, jumping jeepers. I nearly stepped on it. There's a basket here on the doorstep.
There is?
Yes, and there's something in it. Alive. It's moving. Oh, Randolph. Do you suppose somebody left a baby here?
Well, I have a hunch. A very slight hunch. It isn't a baby.
I'm going to take the blanket off its face. Randolph, it's a guinea pig. It's Oogie's guinea pig.
Well, what do you know about that?
Well, that's a nice thing for Oogie to do. Whatever gave Oogie an idea like that?
I can't imagine.
Randolph Foster, did I hear you say you gave Oogie a brilliant idea?
Oh, yeah, but gee, Judy, I didn't know he was going to work it on us.
Oh, bugs. Now I'm the big sister of a pig.
I resent that remark.
Of course, it is kind of a cute little pig. Look, he's kind of holding out his arms to me. You know what? I think it won't be so bad taking care of Baby.
I'm so happy for you.
Look, he likes me already. I'm going to pick him up.
You sure are hard up for affection.
Hello, Baby. Judy's going to take good care of you. Baby's going to have the best 2 weeks he ever had in his life. Isn't him's baby?
Do you have to keep calling him baby like that?
That's his name, and besides it fits him. He practically is like a little baby. Randolph, you know what you're going to do?
No, but I'm not going to like it.
You're going to run right down to the drugstore and buy him an ice cream cone.
I am?
Yes, and I'm going to take Baby in the house and make a nice bed for him in the kitchen.
That is a beautiful and touching thought.
Hiya, Randolph. What do you have?
2 ice cream cones.
Who's the other one for?
A pig.
No, don't get fresh, kid.
It's the truth. It's for a guinea pig.
Look, just because I'm a soda jerk, it doesn't mean I'm a jerk.
No, honest. We got a guest at our house. The football team mascot.
Oh, baby. Well, why didn't you say so? So Oogie finally pawned him off on somebody.
Well, you don't have to make me sound like a dope. My sister Judy found him on the doorstep in a basket.
In a basket? That Oogie's some kid. In a basket, huh?
Your attitude is slightly annoying. And you don't need to gloat about it to everyone in the world either.
I wouldn't repeat it to a soul. Hiya, Dick. Here the latest. The Fosters have Baby, the football team mascot. Oogie left it on their doorstep in a basket.
Yeah, honest, Mrs. Davis. Can you believe it? The Fosters found Baby on the doorstep in a basket.
Most exciting news, Mrs. Austin. A baby was left on the Fosters' doorstep. Oh, Mr. Colby, have you heard? The Fosters have just had a baby.
Oh, the Fosters? Are you kidding?
I just heard it with my own ears.
Why, I see him every day of my life, and he never said a word about it. Well, the old son of a gun.
They certainly have kept it a secret.
Well, believe me, I'm running right over to his plant now. Will I kid the ears off of him? Imagine him never saying a word.
Congratulate him for me. And don't forget to get a cigar. You can go right in, Mr. Colby. Mr. Foster will see you now.
Great! Hello, Foster.
Oh, hello, Colby.
You old son of a gun. Keeping it from me, huh?
Keeping what from you?
Oh, now don't let on you don't know what about. Come on, get out with the cigars.
Cigars?
Well, I certainly think the occasion calls for them.
Occasion? What occasion?
Now, look, Foster, you've kept this up long enough. Why, it's all over town by this time.
What's all over town?
Oh, cut it out, Foster. Everybody knows your wife's had a baby.
What? Would you mind repeating what you just said?
You're a card, Foster. Well, I gotta be running along now. And say, congratulate your wife for me.
Yeah, so long. What in blazes? Congratulate my wife. My wife? Hey, Miss Perkins, get my home on the phone for me.
Did you say something, Mr. Foster?
I said get my home on the phone right away.
Oh, certainly, Mr. Foster, but my goodness, you don't have to shout.
In a predicament like this, I have a right to shout.
Hello? Here they are, Mr. Foster.
Here, give me the phone. Hello?
Oh, hello, Father.
Judy, is anything sort of peculiar going on at home?
Well, not terribly peculiar, Father. Why?
Judy, tell me, where's your mother?
Mother? Oh, she's out playing bridge.
Playing bridge? Well, heaven be praised.
Why? What's wrong, Father?
Well, nothing's wrong. Everything's right as rain. You know, I was worried. Some fool came in here and said we had a baby at our house.
What did you say? Did you say something about baby?
Yes, I said I was worried because...
Oh, baby's all right.
Oh, baby's all right. Did you say baby's all right?
Yes, he's grand. I'm giving him some milk now.
Judy, I can't believe this. There's something wrong someplace. You say mother's out playing bridge, and you're giving baby some milk.
Yes, Father.
Judy, I know something's wacky someplace, but please tell me, how did this thing, whatever it is, happen?
Oh, it was left on our doorstep in a basket.
Are you serious? Does your mother know about this?
Who, Mother? No, she was out.
Oh, for the love of heaven, where is she? Now, you can't handle this alone. She'd better come right home.
Oh, I'm handling it beautifully, Father.
Now, Judy, don't do anything rash till your mother gets home. Keep him warm and see that he has plenty of milk.
I will, Father. He didn't like the ice cream cone.
Ice cream cone? Judy! Don't do anything at all. Just leave everything alone. Your mother and I will take care of everything.
Gee, Father, I think it's terribly sweet of you to be so nice about me.
Nice about it. Why, a poor little thing that's been left in... Judy, where's your mother playing bridge?
At Mrs. Hastings' house.
I'll call her right away. Now, you just keep cool and don't give him a bath or anything.
I won't, Father.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Good heavens, a baby.
What did you say, Mr. Foster?
I said, good heavens, a baby. Get me Mrs. Hastings' house on the home phone right away. It's a Ferndale. And make it snappy.
Goodness, I never saw such cards. Why, Dora Foster, that's the second slam you've bid. Don't worry, I haven't made it yet.
Oh, darling. Phone. Excuse me a minute, girl. Hello? Oh, just a minute, please. Doris, for you.
Oh, thanks. I wonder who's calling me here. Hello?
Hello, Dora.
Oh, yes, Melvin.
Dora, I don't know how to tell you, but...
Well, Melvin, you sound so excited. Is anything wrong?
Is anything wrong? Dora, we have a baby.
We have a... Melvin, did you say a baby?
Yes, Dora. It was left on our doorstep.
On our doorstep, a baby. What? Oh, Melvin, I don't believe it.
It's a fact, dear. Judy found it.
But I can hardly get it through my head. Oh, Melvin, what are we going to do about it?
Oh, it's kind of nice, isn't it, Dora? We did want another one, and...
Oh, Melvin, do you think we'll be able to keep it?
Well, if there aren't any complications about parents or anything, I don't...
Well, dear, if whoever it belonged to put it there, don't you think they'd want us to keep it?
But yes, I suppose so. You know what I'd better do? I'd better check with my lawyer.
Oh, Melvin, I hope we can keep it.
Now, Dora, you'd better go home right away. Judy's there alone with him.
Well, dear, it'll take me an hour to get home.
Oh, Judy will probably drop him on his head before you get there. Do you know that she tried to give him an ice cream cone?
An ice cream cone?
Yes.
Oh, my goodness, I'll hurry as fast as I can. Oh, wait, Melvin, I just thought. We don't really have a thing at home for a baby. You'll have to buy some things right away.
Well, what does it need?
Well, bottles and nipples and a sterilizer and... Oh, Melvin, you just better ask the salesgirl in the children's department to pick out a whole layette.
All right, dear. Now, I'll get everything. Just hurry home as fast as you can.
I will. Goodbye, dear.
Goodbye.
Oh, girls, have I got something to tell you?
Oh, is it true somebody left a baby on your doorstep?
It's true. Why, that's the most exciting thing I ever heard
I'm just too
of.
thrilled for words.
Well, I've got to go right home.
Oh,
no wonder. Now, Dora, if there's anything I can do... Oh, there's not a thing. I'll just take my bag and I'll go. Goodbye, girls. I can hardly wait till I see the dear.
Oh, well, isn't she lucky? A foundling.
Oh, my goodness. I wonder how long it was there on the doorstep before anyone found it.
Why? You don't suppose the exposure could hurt it to you?
Well, you never can tell. That's the danger with foundlings.
Oh, don't worry. This one is probably as healthy as a little pig.
We'll be back with Judy in just a moment. You know, anything can happen from this point on. You never know. And you never know, speaking of never knows, exactly what impression you're making on others. But it's wise to check. Notice next time you're talking to somebody. If they avoid looking at you, better check your teeth. Find out if they're dingy and stained. Don't guess about it. Find out now. Just run the tip of your tongue over your teeth. Can you feel a filmy coating? That filmy coating collects stains. Next time you brush your teeth, better use a toothpaste that removes that stain-collecting film. Better use Pepsodent toothpaste, because Pepsodent with Irium is a high-speed super cleanser that loosens and flushes away the dingy film from your teeth. Whisks it away in a clean-tasting foam of bubbles. Makes your teeth feel clean. Makes them shine and sparkle so brilliantly that eyes are attracted your way. Tonight, make your toothbrushing give results you can see and feel. Tomorrow may be your big day. Get a tube of Pepsodent toothpaste tonight. Remember, government orders. Take an empty tube with you to exchange for the new one you buy. Any size, any kind of collapsible metal will do. And now, let's get back to that date with Judy.
Miss Perkins, where's my hat?
Where it always is, on the hat rack.
Oh, yes. Fact is, I'm so flustered. I've got to buy a sterilizer. Miss Perkins, where's my hat?
It's on your head now, Mr. Foster.
Oh, yes, so it is. Well, goodbye. No, wait. I want you to call my attorney.
Mr. Jackson?
Yes, and ask him what you do when a baby's found on your doorstep.
Oh, I can tell you that. You call the police.
Yeah. No, look, Miss Perkins, I want to keep this baby. Ask Mr. Jackson what I should do Stake out a claim or what? Ask him what I do in order to adopt the baby.
Oh, I get it.
Tell him to call me and let me know if he can start proceedings right away.
Yes, Mr. Foster.
Well, goodbye.
Goodbye.
And tell him to be sure and make it good and legal.
Oh, Judy! Judy!
Yes, Randolph?
You know who just called?
No.
The newspaper. It was a reporter. He heard about baby being found on our doorstep. Wants to write a story.
Oh, butterflies, that's wonderful. We'll be on the front page.
And he wanted to know if there was a note in the basket. Like, please take care of baby, signed a heartbroken mother, or something like that.
But what'd you tell him?
I told him there wasn't any note. And he said he'd make one up.
Gee, that's nice of him.
He said he's coming right out to the house for an interview.
With us? Oh, Randolph, wait till the team hears about this.
You know, I had the funniest feeling all the time this reporter was talking that he thought baby was a baby.
A baby? Oh, Randolph, that's very silly. Where would you get an idea like that?
Oh, I don't know. Well, maybe it was just my imagination.
It must have been.
There goes the phone again. Hello?
Hello? Who is this?
This is Randolph Foster.
Oh, well, Randolph, this is Mrs. Hastings. Your mother just left my house, and I want you to tell her as soon as she gets home that the other girls and I are going to give her a shower.
A shower?
You know, dear. A party. Everybody who comes has to bring the baby a present.
The baby?
Yes. And if you keep it, you'll need so many things for it. Tell your mother I'm inviting all her friends.
But Mrs. Hastings...
She's made out a list of 35 already. And tell your mother if she can think of anybody else she wants to let me know.
Oh, yes, but Mrs. Hastings...
I have to get back to the bridge game, dear, so bye-bye. And kiss your little brother for me. Oh, is it your little sister?
It's my little brother. What am I saying?
Oh, you're all excited, aren't you, dear? Well, I won't keep you. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
What on earth was that?
That was Mrs. Hastings. She wants to give baby a shower.
Why, how sweet of her.
Judy, something tells me she thinks baby is a baby, too.
Oh, Randolph, no.
Well, is Mrs. Hastings the type to give a shower for a pig?
Well, no, she isn't. Oh, Randolph, do you suppose Father thinks baby is a baby?
Could be. After this, nothing would surprise me.
He did act very funny on the phone. And he said he was going to call Mother. Do you suppose he told her baby is a baby?
Could be.
Well, where do you suppose they got that idea? Oh, Randolph, what's going to happen when they find out the truth?
Personally, I'm refraining from thinking.
Jeepers, I hope they haven't gone to any trouble.
Well, now, let's see. We have the sterilizer, the bottle warmer, the... You want a complete layette, don't you?
Yep, the whole trousseau.
The whole layette.
Well, whatever you call it, I want the whole works. Would you please make it snappy? I'm anxious to get home and see the baby.
Oh, the baby's been born?
Well, of course it's been born. What a silly question.
I just meant if it hasn't a layette yet. What's it wearing?
Well, what it had when it came, I suppose.
We certainly will have to hurry, won't we? Now, do you have a crib or a bassinet?
We don't have a crib or a bassinet.
Well, you weren't very well prepared, were you?
Oh, no. The last thing in the world I expected at our house was a baby.
Well, I suppose we'd better choose a bassinet.
All right, wrap one up.
Wouldn't you care to look at them first?
No, you pick it.
My, what a proud father you must be.
Oh, I'm not the father.
Are you the grandfather?
The grandfather? A man of my age? Well, certainly not.
Well, may I ask just what relation you are to the baby, sir?
Well, I've no relation. We found the baby on the doorstep.
On the doorstep?
Yes.
Oh, how wonderful. Why, it's just like a movie, isn't it?
Exactly. I never thought it would happen to me. But since it has, let's get the layette together quickly so I can scram out of here.
Oh, right away. Now, we'll want bottles and nipples, on your doorstep, and baby oil and cotton. Have you a pediatrician for the baby?
Well, no. Why?
Well, I was just thinking. A little baby found on a doorstep.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. We had a pediatrician for our own children, and they never went through what this baby's gone through. Look, could I use your phone here?
Certainly.
I'll call Dr. Harrington. We had him for Randolph. Yes, I feel much better with the doctor. You're right.
Hello?
Hello, Dr. Harrington.
Yes?
This is Mr. Foster, Melvin Foster.
Well, what do you want?
Well, I'd like you to go over to my house right away and look at the baby.
Say, listen, Foster, your boy is about 12 years old now. I'm a baby doctor.
Oh, no, it's not for Randolph. It's a newborn baby.
Why, Foster, that's great. Certainly is nice to have you for a customer again.
When did this happen?
Well, I haven't got time to explain it to you right now, but will you please go over to my house right away?
Why, sure, I certainly will. How's Mrs. Foster?
She's fine.
Isn't that great? Well, I'll be seeing you.
Thanks. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Hey, somebody open the door. I've got my arms closed.
Oh, hello, Father.
Well, where is it?
Where's what?
With the baby, of course.
Oh, the baby.
Yes. Oh, it is sure nice to come home to a little bitty baby again. It's been such a long time. Well, where is it?
Judy, come here. Yes. Judy, would you mind explaining some things to Father? I've got to, well, I just remembered I've got an important appointment. So long.
Where's he going?
Oh, he just hasn't the heart to break it to you. He wants me to.
Judy, is something wrong with the baby?
Well, not exactly wrong. It's just that...
Well, where is it? Oh, Melvin, you're home already. My, it took me so long to get into
Dora,
this.
Judy says something's wrong with the baby.
Nothing's wrong with him. I mean, he isn't sick or anything.
Oh, good. Well, where is the little tyke?
He's in the kitchen.
In the kitchen?
Why, I never heard of such a thing. Judy, where's your mind?
Well, gee, what did you want me to do with him?
Put him in bed, naturally.
In my bed?
Or Father's in my bed. Didn't that ever occur to you?
Well, frankly, no.
My goodness, Judy.
Gee, Mother, I never dreamed you and Father'd be this nice about it.
Nice about it? Anybody with simple, common decency would be nice about it.
Yeah, but you seem to be going a little overboard. And besides, I don't think it's so decent to put a little pig in your bed.
A little pig?
Judy, how can you say such a thing? Just because it's a foundling.
Well, you see, Mother, baby isn't quite a baby. That is, he's young and everything, but... Well, the fact is he's not really a baby.
Judy, do you know what you're saying?
Yes, I do, Father. You've kind of had the wrong impression. Baby was left on the doorstep, all right. But, well, he's the mascot of the football team.
The mascot of a football team? A little baby?
No, Father, that's what I'm telling you. He's not a baby, he's a guinea pig.
A guinea pig? But you said it was a baby.
No, I said it was a guinea pig named Baby.
Oh, Judy.
Judy Foster. Just wait till I pull myself together. Am I going to get mad?
Gee, I'm sorry you got the wrong impression, Father, but
You realize what this has done to me, Judy? Why, I've told everybody that we found a baby on our doorstep.
Gee, Father, what a shame.
Do you realize, Judy, I've been handing out cigars?
You have, Father?
Do you realize I took a layette home from town?
For a guinea pig?
Oh, Melvin, this is funny.
Well, laugh, why don't you? Do you realize I've tried to adopt this pig?
Oh, Melvin.
Gee, Father, it was all perfectly all right until somebody got all mixed up.
Judy, do you realize I sent for a baby doctor?
Yes, I know, Father. He's here.
He's here?
Yes. He was awfully mad, too, when he found out Baby was a pig, but he went in the kitchen to look at it, and he's been there ever since. It's been more than a half hour.
Oh, what a fool he must think I am.
Well, what could he be doing looking at a guinea pig?
You wonder why I didn't send for a veterinarian.
I don't know. Oh, I think I hear him coming out of the kitchen now.
Well, Foster, things certainly do happen in this house, don't they?
Listen, Dr. Harrington, I'm terribly sorry. I hope I haven't put you out.
Oh, I found it rather interesting. Took me back to my days at medical school.
Listen, Doctor,
Hi, everybody. Here's Mrs. Austin with a baby carriage.
Dora, I brought you a baby carriage. I had the worst time getting it back. I'd loaned it to the Evergreens, and they'd loaned it to the Pentwoods. But I finally got it back from the Maccabees.
Oh, for goodness sake.
Well, I'm sorry, Mrs. Austin, but we won't be needing it. There wasn't a guinea pig. That was a guinea pig in the basket. It wasn't a baby.
It was what? A guinea pig, not
Yes.
a baby?
Yes. Oh, Judy, how do you get me into these things?
Well, Randolph got me into this.
Yeah, sometimes my brains boomerang on me.
Oh, I'm simply amazed.
Oh, I forgot to tell you. Mrs. Hastings called up and said she was giving Baby a shower.
A shower? Didn't you tell her Baby was a pig?
Well, no.
Well, why on earth didn't you?
Well, I was afraid if she knew it was a pig, she'd call the shower off.
You're darn right she's going to call it off. I'm going to phone her right now.
How do you like this? We're playing nurse girl to a pig.
Now, that's where you're all mistaken.
What was that, Dr. Harrington?
I said that's where you're all mistaken. You're not playing nursemaid to a guinea pig. You're playing nursemaid to 7 guinea pigs. Yes, baby just gave birth to a fine litter of 6.
Oh, Goopers, that's wonderful. Wait till the football team hears about this. I bet they win all their games next year.
Hey, look, out on the porch, a man with a camera. It must be the newspaper reporter.
The newspaper reporter?
Yes, he's going to interview us about Baby. Tell him to come right in, Randolph, and bring his camera.
Okay. Should I tell him to take Baby alone, or do you want a group picture?
Hold on, there's more coming. You know, I've told you a number of times that the Pepsodent 50 Tuft toothbrush has 50 tufts of nylon bristles. That's very elemental. I know because I count them every morning. 8, 16, 24, 32, 48, 50. I know because I use a Pepsodent 50 Tuft toothbrush. I'm talking to the folks who use other kinds of toothbrushes and don't even know how many tufts are in them. The Pepsodent brush has 50 tufts of evenly tapered, gentle nylon bristles to give maximum brushing contact with your teeth, maximum cleansing efficiency. The Pepsodent brush actually has twice as many tufts of bristles as any other brush having a small, compact head. And it feels great in your mouth. Those nylon bristles are gentle. They don't scratch tender gums. They don't get soggy or flabby. So there are 3 good reasons why it pays to get the Pepsodent toothbrush. Now, first, it cleans your teeth so they sparkle and shine. Second, it feels good. And third, you get a bonus besides. A 10-cent cash certificate with every Pepsodent toothbrush. So be good to yourself. Get a Pepsodent toothbrush tonight. And now, back to Judy.
Come right in. Melvin, it's your attorney.
Good evening, Mrs. Foster. Evening, Foster.
Jackson.
Yes, I dropped in to let you know what you could do about the adoption.
Adoption? Oh, Melvin.
Yes. Now, legally, a foundling is...
Am I spared nothing?
What do you mean, Foster? There's a little red tape. If there are no claims, why, the little fellow you found on your doorstep will be all yours.
Listen, Jackson. He's all ours now, with compound interest.
Remember, you all have another Date with Judy next Tuesday night. A Date with Judy with Dellie Ellis and Dix Davis is written by Aline Leslie and Jerome Lawrence. Original music by Gordon Jenkins. And remember, for the safety of your smile, use Pepsodent twice a day. See your dentist twice a year. Larry Keating speaking. This program came to you from Hollywood.
Dellie Ellis, born Madeline Ellis, would later take the screen name Joan Lorring, which is probably how you know her best. She was in the 1945 motion picture The Corn is Green. She was nominated for an Academy Award in that for Best Supporting Actress. She also originated the role of Marie Buckholder in Come Back Little Sheba on Broadway in 1950. She won the predecessor of the Tony Award for that. She would pass away in 2014 at the age of 88. A Date with Judy, 82 years ago. On this date, August 4th, 1942. Coming up next, Monty Woolley as the Magnificent Montague.
Let's make this the year of the well-informed voter, the voter who feels that it pays to devote some time and some effort to get information concerning the background and qualification of each candidate who says, I want your vote. Let's make this the year of the well-informed voter who knows all the facts when he goes to the polls, who studies the figures and figures to study each promising, backslapping, vote-getting body of each candidate. He'll ask, what are your goals? Let's make this the year of the well-informed voter who knows that his vote is a great legacy, who poses a question for every vote-getter. Will he make America stronger and better? Will he keep the land we love happy and free?
Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox continues now with an episode of The Magnificent Montague starring Monty Woolley. This episode goes back 73 years to August 4th, 1951.
The Magnificent Montague starring Monty Woolley. Yes, it's The Magnificent Montague, the Saturday night transcribed feature on NBC's All-Star Festival of Comedy, Music, Mystery, and Drama. Brought to you by Chesterfield. Always milder, better tasting, cooler smoking, plus no unpleasant aftertaste. By Anacin for fast relief from pain of headaches, neuritis, and neuralgia. And by RCA Victor, world leader in radio, first in recorded music, and first in television. But before we hear from The Magnificent Montague, let's hear from Chesterfield.
You see it in the newspapers. No unpleasant aftertaste. You hear it on the radio. No unpleasant aftertaste. You see it on television. No unpleasant aftertaste when you smoke Chesterfields. It's the biggest plus in cigarette history. Science discovered it. You can prove it. Science discovered that of all brands tested, Chesterfield, and only Chesterfield, leaves no unpleasant aftertaste.
Prove it yourself. Smoke a pack of Chesterfields. They're always milder, better tasting, cooler smoking. And Chesterfield is the cigarette that leaves no unpleasant aftertaste.
That's the biggest plus in cigarette history.
No unpleasant aftertaste.
Science discovered it. Prove it yourself. Buy Chesterfields today.
And now, The Magnificent Montague. Although Edwin Montague, the Magnificent Montague of Shakespearean theater fame, is today for the first time in his life financially secure thanks to radio, where he is Uncle Goodhart, hero of an afternoon program, he is a frightened man. He lives in fear that his fellow Shakespearean actors of the Proscenium Club will find out he has deserted the stage for radio, their mortal enemy. It is morning in the Montague apartment. His wife, Lily, and Agnes, the maid, await his arrival at the breakfast table. Agnes is setting the table.
When you are in love, it's the loveliest night in the year. When you are in love, oh, Mario, it's the loveliest night in the year.
Agnes.
Sound off, 1, 2, 3.
Agnes, all this singing. Edwin's still asleep.
Honey, if I could sing loud enough to wake that monster, I'd be in the Mets.
Oh, Agnes, the phone.
I'll get it. Residence of Edwin Montague and Lily Boehm, Agnes the maid on this end. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Hello. Roger, go ahead.
Oh, Agnes.
Who do you want? Oh, Montague? No, Sleeping Beauty ain't up yet. When is he getting up? Oh, any minute now. What? Sure, come right up.
Agnes, you could be a little more dignified on the phone.
What's only Mr. Jarvis?
Jarvis, president of Edwin's Proscenium Club? Did he say anything?
Just that he had to see your husband right away. Said it was a crisis.
A crisis? Oh, Agnes, this is terrible.
What's terrible? Probably one of those broken-down actors finally got a job, and they're planning a torchlight parade.
Agnes, this can only mean one thing. The Proscenium Club found out my husband's secret.
You mean that he has two heads?
No. That he's Uncle Goodhart on that program. You know what happens to any member of the Proscenium Club who deserts the stage.
Yeah, he loses his place in line at the unemployment insurance office.
Agnes, this is serious. Edwin's been a life member, dedicated to preserving the American stage. But what if they found out he's in radio?
How could those old fogies find out? They can't get NBC on their hearing devices.
Must have found out. And Jarvis himself is coming to tell Edwin he's been thrown out of the club. Oh, Agnes, this will kill Edwin.
It will? When you are in love.
Agnes. Coming from Jarvis, too, Edwin's oldest friend. They played Shakespeare together. They shared the same dressing room.
Two hams from the same smokehouse.
Agnes, Edwin Montague is no ham.
You're kidding. Why, honey, he... Uh-oh, I hear him. He's up. There it is, the chant of the jungle.
Good morning, Lily.
Good morning, Edwin.
Hiya, Buster.
Dear little Agnes, still with us. I guess there was nothing in that rumor that you were returning to wrestling on television.
What a doll. As they say in French, beaucoup schmo.
Ah, Lily, when we were first married, you wanted a Cocker Spaniel and I wanted a Bulldog. In Agnes, we have both.
Oh, now, Edwin. Agnes, bring in Edwin's breakfast.
His breakfast, okay. Come to my house, to my house. I'm going to give you arsenic.
Excuse me, Lucy Monroe. I heard the phone ring before. Who was it?
Jarvis.
Jarvis?
Now, Edwin, you might just as well know it. Jarvis is coming up to see you.
He says it's a crisis.
Lily, they found out. They found out I'm in radio.
Edwin.
I've been betrayed. Agnes, have you told anybody I'm Uncle Goodhart?
Why, I'm more ashamed of it than you are.
Oh, Lily, my treachery has been revealed. I, Edwin Montague, a Proscenium member, have broken the thin, tottering ranks of the defenders of the theater to go over to the enemy, radio. Oh, what a rogue and peasant slave am I.
Oh, beat me, Daddy. 8 to the bar.
Quiet. Lily, I can't face the disgrace.
Edwin, maybe you can explain it's just a little radio program.
Just a little. Lily, they drummed Cecil Banks out of the club because a second cousin of his was heard on a quiz program.
Oh, Edwin, there must be a way.
Lily, there's no way back. Better death. Aye, better death than what I have to face. They will turn my picture to the wall. From this day on, they will speak of me as though I were dead.
What a wonderful idea.
Lily, I'm a lost man. No more to while away the long afternoons at the club with my old cronies, recalling my great triumphs in the theater, sitting in front of the fire in the Shakespeare room, silently wooing Thespis, the goddess of the drama.
I wonder who's kissing her now.
Quiet. Lily, I've just thought of the most wonderful game for our next picnic. Ducking for Agnes.
Edwin, there must be some... Oh, that's Jarvis.
Let's pretend no one's home.
No, Edwin, you must face it.
Oh, very well. Agnes, let Mr. Jarvis in.
Services will be held at 3 o'clock.
Agnes, where is he?
He's in there, sir.
Jarvis.
Montague. Montague.
Dear friend.
Blow, thou winter wine. Thou art not so unkind as man's ingratitude.
Oh, Jarvis, remember me not as this broken man, but as I was in our first play together. Remember your part.
Hamlet. Lord Hamlet.
But soft, what noise? Who calls on Hamlet?
Lord Hamlet, it is us, Rosencrantz and Guildenstern.
Who sent down for delicatessen?
All right, Rebecca, back to Sunnybrook Farm. Jarvis, for old time's sake, don't be hard on me.
Montague, if I could see any way out of it, I'd have spared you, but the others insisted.
They did?
Yes. I had to put you down for $25.
$25? What are you talking about? What's the crisis?
There's no money for our Proscenium Summer Fund.
Oh, there isn't.
Say, Montague, to me, the fact that the Proscenium Club treasure is empty is hardly a reason for such rejoicing.
It isn't.
Quiet, Agnes. Jarvis, forgive me. I was just happy because I'm in a position to give you $50.
$50? Montague, you giving $50?
Yeah, hit the daily double at Hialeah.
I warned you, Agnes, I warned you. Just for that, no kennel ration for you tonight. Jarvis, my last cent would go for our summer fund. Lily and I would gladly go without.
Yes, Jarvis, that's how we feel.
If others felt the way you do, our goal of $500 would be achieved.
Well, I got 40 cents that ain't working.
Thank you, Agnes. Jarvis, $500.
Yes, Lily, you know, every summer, when the theaters close in New York, the club raises $500 to give to Broadway's neediest actor, to tide him over to fall.
And this year, some needy comrade will not receive it. In order to live, he'll break the ranks and go into radio.
Radio?
Radio. Cursed be thy name, and cursed be our weak-willed former members who've fallen into thy evil clutches. Members who shall live in the proscenium book of infamy. Traitors to our beloved and embattled theater.
Pardon me, I smelled somebody's ears burning.
Jarvis, would it actually be lowering our principles if we asked those former members who are now working in radio to contribute? We need $500. They'd give money.
Never. That's dirty money. Fool's gold. No, Montague. We must take care of our own. They shall not contaminate us who have not fallen.
I understand.
Goodbye, Montague. Gallant soldier. Keeper of the flame of Shakespeare.
Goodbye, Jarvis.
Now cracks a noble heart. Good night, sweet prince.
Well, now you can relax. He doesn't know you're in radio, sweet prince.
Edwin, you're saved.
He doesn't know, but I know. Lily, they look up to me. Me. Oh, villainy. I am the chief. I have lost the heritage of my own memory.
Hang on to your hats, kids. Here we go again.
Oh, Edwin, it'll be forgotten.
Forgotten? Shakespeare said it. The evil that men do follows after them.
Lives after them.
Lives after them. Oh, my offense is rank. It smells to the sky.
To the heavens.
To the heavens. Oh, guilty conscience, Macbeth shall sleep no more.
Rest no more.
Rest no more.
Dream no more.
Dream no more. Quiet!
This is fun.
Silence. Oh, Lily, when I think of myself doing Uncle Goodhart, while old Jarvis has to go begging for money from Broadway's neediest actor.
Oh, Edwin, time to go for your radio broadcast.
Lily, I can hardly face it. I must do something to redeem myself.
Oh, stop torturing yourself. Go do your broadcast.
We'll torture everybody.
Oh, when will this loud-mouthed albatross be removed from my neck? There must be a way of getting that $500 for the Presidium Club.
Oh, Edwin, we can't afford it.
$500? Can't we pawn something? Isn't there something in the house that's useless?
Useless?
Why is everybody looking at me?
Well, Edwin, here's your coat.
$500. Oh, there must be a way. Dad, where's my hat? I'm on the air in a few minutes.
We'll be back with the magnificent Montague in just a moment. But first, a word from Anacin. The next time you suffer from pains of headache, neuritis, or neuralgia, take Anacin. You'll bless the day you heard of this incredibly fast way to relieve those pains. Now, the reason Anacin is so wonderfully fast-acting and effective is this. Anacin is like a doctor's prescription. That is, Anacin contains not just one, but a combination of medically proven, active ingredients in easy-to-take tablet form. Thousands of people have received envelopes containing Anacin tablets from their own dentist or physician, and in this way discover the incredibly fast relief Anacin brings from pains of headache, neuritis, or neuralgia. So the next time a headache strikes, take Anacin for this wonderfully fast relief. Anacin, A-N-A-C-I-N. Anacin comes in handy boxes of 12 and 30, Economical family-size bottles of 50 and 100. Get Anacin at any drug counter. And now, back to the magnificent Montague. With a heavy heart, as he thinks of the $500 needed for the proscenium summer fund, he is just finishing his Uncle Goodhart radio broadcast. Listen.
And now, dear listeners, remember, keep your head high into the sun and light.
So ends another episode of Uncle Goodhart, brought to you by the makers of Flugel soap. And now, remember, there is still time to enter the big Uncle Goodhart $500 letter writing contest. Just write a letter beginning, I wash with Flugel soap because. The best letter will receive $500. Uncle Goodhart will be the sole judge, and his decision will be final. And now, back to Uncle Goodhart and his thought for the day.
When your neighbor cuts his jugular vein while sawing wood in the cellar, say to him as the blood rains down, let a smile be your umbrella.
Okay, Mr. Montague, we're off the air.
Off the air. After what I just did to it, I'm afraid to breathe it.
Oh, that was a crackerjack show, Mr. Montague. Here, ask Mr. Zinzer, our director. Good show, eh, Zinzer?
Oh, that was a peacherino. That was simply George.
Oh, quiet.
Yes, sir.
Springer.
Yes, sir?
What was he mumbling?
Mumbling? Was someone mumbling? Who was mumbling? Zinzer, were you mumbling?
Me mumbling? I wasn't mumbling. Was someone mumbling?
Oh, stop this. I mean our announcer.
Oh, that. That's our annual best letter contest.
You're the judge.
I'm the judge. Don't I do enough around this asylum without being assigned homework?
Oh, you won't be bothered, Mr. Montague. Zinzer will take care of it.
Yes, sirree, Bob. We just use your name. I'll pick the winner for you and send them the $500.
$500.
That's the prize for the winning letter. I wash with Flugel soap because.
$500. Zinzer!
I didn't do anything.
Zinzer?
Yes, sir?
What do you mean you will judge the best letter?
But you said...
It was announced to the public that Uncle Goodhart was to be the sole judge. It would be unfair to my listeners if I didn't personally select the prize-winning letter.
Yeah, but there'll be oodles and oodles of letters, Mr. Montague.
It's my duty, Mr. Zinzer. You may pick the second prize.
Gee, Mr. Montague, you're a true blue, dead-on-the-level, straight shooter.
Thank you, Zinzer, thank you. $500. When you are in love, it's the loveliest night of the year.
Edwin, I refuse.
Lily, you have the pen and paper ready? Right.
But, Edwin...
Just write, Dear Uncle Goodhart, I wash with Flugel soap because...
Edwin...
Lily, just write it down.
I certainly won't. It's ridiculous for you to enter that contest.
It is? How can I lose? I'm the judge.
Now, write it yourself.
Lily, it has to be done in a woman's handwriting. I'm writing it in Agnes's name. It's perfectly legal.
Edwin, you just can't take $500...
Lily, it's for the Proscenium Club's summer fund for Broadway's neediest actor.
I don't like it. It's thievery.
Lily, radio owes this to the theater. It is small enough to pay for the havoc it has wrought to our profession. A thief, am I? I am Robin Hood. Now, write.
Oh, but Edwin...
Write, Lily. Dear Uncle Goodhart, I wash with Flugel soap because... Now, just how would Agnes word it? Now, take this down, Lily.
Go ahead.
I wash with Flugel soap because all day long my hands is up to the wrists in chopped meat, onions, and other garbage.
Edwin!
Right. As a result, my knuckles and hands is always unsightly chapped. Flugel soap has restored my paws to such loveliness and charm. They are the talk of the A&P. Signed, Agnes Peters. Now the envelope. Address. Uncle Goodhart Letter Writing Contest. Care of Uncle Goodhart, the National Broadcasting Company, Box 6, New York, Zone 7, New York. And then, dear listeners, the prize-winning letter ends in the same beautifully phrased, homespun, earthy style. Quote, my lovely paws are now the talk of the A&P. And the name of the winner? Miss Agnes Peters of New York City. I have the $500 in cash right here, and I'm sending it out immediately by messenger. And to you millions of listeners who wrote letters in and didn't win, this is your Uncle Goodhart saying, better luck next time.
We're off the air.
Springer.
Montague, that letter. How could you have picked it? It was obviously written by a moron.
Written by a moron, you moron.
The sponsor was quite upset.
Good. Now, if you'll excuse me, gentlemen, I shall send the $500 off to its rightful place. Yes, sin, sir, as Shakespeare said in King Richard II, I count myself in nothing else so happy as in a soul remembering my dear friend.
My good friend.
My good friend. Thank you, sin, sir.
Oh, it's you, Edward.
Hello, Lily.
I was just making a little package of cigarettes and fruit to bring you on visiting day.
Lily. What a good feeling. I sent the $500 in cash by messenger right off to the Presidium Club, care of the Summer Fund. Just a little note attached. Fight on. That's all. Oh, that's all. Lily, with this one magnificent gesture, I have redeemed myself in my own eyes. I can speak into that microphone now without feeling that with every word I am hastening the doom of the legitimate theater. Oh, Lily, what a glorious day for me. Here's dear Agnes.
Hello, dear Uncle Goodhart. I heard your program today.
You did?
Get it up.
Get what up?
The $500 I won.
Let me explain.
Don't explain. My letter won $500. Get it up.
Agnes, dear.
5 C's, 500 clams.
You see, Agnes...
Shoot me the green stuff, the folding move, the cabbage.
Agnes, may I please speak to you?
Gladly, just as soon as you lay the 500 fish in my lovely and charming paws, the talk of the A&P.
Agnes, I can explain.
Later, make with the shekels. I got the furrier with a squirrel coat I just ordered, waiting for a down payment.
Agnes, you can't have the money.
Now, what was the name of that charming police sergeant I met at the Houlihan's who was just dying to make a name for himself?
The police? Agnes, you wouldn't do that to me.
Ha.
Agnes, please let him explain.
Okay, first let him slip me the loot, and then he's got my undivided attention.
Agnes, dear Agnes, unknown to you, a great and noble thing is happening today.
I know, I'm being eased out of $500.
No, Agnes, it's going to someone who needs it more than you.
Nobody needs it more than me.
Agnes, search your heart. Somewhere in this cruel city, there is a poor, desperate man.
I know, he's the furrier waiting for me to bring him that down payment on the squirrel coat.
Agnes, that money went to the Presidium Club Summer Fund.
Oh, no. I'll have the joint raided.
Agnes, please listen to
Think
him.
of it. Your money is going to Broadway's neediest actor. It will give him another year to live with his head held high. Another year to maintain the fight to keep the theater we love alive.
But the furrier's waiting.
Agnes, you were in the theater with us when Lily and I were struggling. Remember what $1 meant to us. How we all shared and shared alike.
Yeah, I remember.
Well, think of this poor actor, living in his shabby hall bedroom, hungry, forgotten, his head bloody but unbowed. That money, Agnes dear, will keep him going. Well, Agnes?
Well, Agnes?
You got me, okay.
Oh, Agnes.
Agnes, you're a saint. I know you always try to appear tough, but underneath there is something warm.
And this coming winter, it'd be warm if it was covered by a squirrel coat.
Agnes, it's truly wonderful what you've done. Oh, the door.
I'll get it. It's Mr. Jarvis.
Jarvis!
Montague. Here's your $50 back. We don't need it.
You don't?
Montague, the skies opened up and showered $500 on the Proscenium Club.
$500? Isn't that wonderful?
Great.
It's a miracle. An unknown benefactor's made our fund possible again with just a little note, Montague. Just the words, fight on.
Fight on. We shall fight on.
King Henry V, Act 2. Remember, Montague?
Once more into the breach, dear friends, once more. And when the blast of war blows in our ears...
Aye! Imitate the action of the tiger.
Stiffen the sinews. Aye! Summon up the blood.
Aye, my squirrel coat.
Ah, Jarvis, you have brought great news to the house of Montague.
And I bring even greater news, O Montague, noblest Roman of them all.
You do?
The moment the $500 arrived, the board of directors of our Proscenium Club met, voted, and issued the following proclamation. May I?
Read on, dear Jarvis.
Whereas the Proscenium Club, a non-profit organization dedicated to the highest principles of the theater, each year selects a recipient of a $500 donation to the neediest actor on Broadway.
Good.
Whereas this year, for the first time, the choice was unanimous, we hereby select a member who for 8 years has not worked in a play, yet has maintained his dignity and position. By acclaim, the Proscenium Club votes as the neediest actor on Broadway, Mr. Edwin Montague. And here, Montague, is the $500.
Jarvis, wait.
Good night. Good night, sweet prince.
Now look, Agnes.
Dirty, slimy, rotten double-crosser.
Now, Agnes, let me explain.
You crawling, miserable, two-timing monster.
Now, Agnes.
Poor man, living in a hall bedroom, hungry, forgotten.
Please, now let me...
Head bloody, but unbowed. It's going to be bloody, all right.
Agnes,
Give me the dough.
Agnes.
Hand over the Mazuma, cross my palm with the green stuff.
Agnes, the money doesn't belong to us.
All I know is for the first time in my life, I won a contest.
But I was the judge. I wrote the letter and I picked the letter.
All right. You'll get your cut.
Agnes, we can't keep that money.
It was supposed to go to Broadway's neediest actor.
So you got it, Broadway's seediest actor.
Agnes, be reasonable. Edwin's in terrible trouble.
Anything I can do to make it worse?
Really, Agnes, you might have the decency to keep your mouth shut since it was your name that got us into this mess.
My name got you into it.
Agnes, Edwin, we've got to get rid of this money.
I have it. The Proscenium Club has always wanted a bust of me. Now, I know a sculptor.
Over my dead body.
Edwin, there's only one solution. The second-place winner of that contest must get the money.
But, Lily, I want it for the Proscenium Club.
Edwin, find out the second-place winner and send that money right away.
Oh, all right, then. I'll call Zinzer. Always wanted a bust of me. Hello, Zinzer? Montague. No, nothing's wrong. Who was the second-place winner in the Goodhart letter writing contest? Yes, I'll take it down. Well, just give me the name. Who? Yes, I have it. Good night. When you are in love.
Edwin, who sent in that second letter?
It's the loveliest night in the year.
Edwin, whose letter wins the money?
It was Jarvis. All's well that ends well.
Here's a word from RCA Victor. Vacation time is the portable radio season. Make sure your portable is ready to deliver all the tone and volume you need for outdoor listening pleasure. Have it checked today by your local radio dealer or serviceman. If your portable radio battery has grown weak, replace it today with a fresh, new, long-lasting RCA radio battery. Radio engineered for extra listening hours. Portables powered with sturdy, long-lasting RCA radio batteries give top performance at the flick of a switch. Your local radio dealer or serviceman has an RCA battery for your portable radio, regardless of make or style. See him today for a complete portable radio inspection. If your portable battery runs low, insist on RCA radio batteries, available at radio dealers everywhere. RCA batteries are economical. They're radio engineered for extra listening hours. Listen again next week, friends, to The Magnificent Montague, starring Monty Woolley. The Saturday night transcribed feature on NBC's All-Star Festival of Comedy, Music, Mystery, and Drama. Brought to you by Chesterfield. Always milder, better tasting, cooler smoking, plus no unpleasant aftertaste. By Allison, for fast relief from pain of headaches, neuritis, and neuralgia. And by RCA Victor, world leader in radio, first in recorded music, and first in television. The Magnificent Montague was created and directed by Nat Hiken and written by Nat Hiken and Billy Friedberg. Ann Seymour was Lily, Pert Kelton was Agnes. Also heard on tonight's program were John Gibson, John Griggs, and Gavin Gordon. Jack Ward was at the organ. This is Don Pardo speaking.
"73 years ago, August 4th, 1951, The Magnificent Montague on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Up next, Superman.
Remember how relieved you were when you heard there was at last a vaccine to stamp out polio? Remember the early doubts and fears that it hadn't really been perfected? Those days are behind us. Areas where the Salk vaccine has been taken by substantial numbers of children and adults under 40 have shown remarkable results. But studies made last year show that a most susceptible group have been neglecting themselves. Almost 41 million adults under 40 years of age have not taken as much as one polio shot. Do you doubt that this is important? If so, please note carefully that after 2 years of rewarding statistics, in 1958, the incidence of polio started to climb again. The vaccine won't work on people who don't take it. At least 3 shots, spaced as your doctor or clinic recommends, are vital for maximum protection from polio. The CBS Radio Network and its affiliated stations join the United States Department of Health in urging, get your polio shots. Get them starting now.
Tomorrow, a mostly Western day on Monday. Coming up Tuesday, Dick Calmer as Boston Blackie. Jeff Regan, Investigator, the 1950 version starring Frank Nelson and Frank Graham. An episode of Dangerous Assignment, an episode of Under Arrest, and another episode of Superman, which we'll hear next. And then coming up on Wednesday, Mystery in the Air starring Peter Lorre. An episode of The Whistler, a couple of westerns, Have Gun Will Travel and Frontier Town, and Lum and Abner. And then on Thursday, Gangbusters, This Is Your FBI, Suspense, X-1. And some great stuff coming up, so hope you will be with us. But right now, the continuing story of Superman and Dr. Roebling and the Voice Machine.
Presenting the transcription feature, Superman.
Look, up in the sky.
It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman. Yes, it's Superman, strange visitor from the planet Krypton, who came to Earth with powers and abilities far beyond those of mortal men. Superman, who can leap tall buildings at a single bound, race a speeding bullet to its target, bend steel in his bare hands, and who, disguised as Clark Kent, mild-mannered reporter for a great metropolitan newspaper, fights a never-ending battle for truth and justice.
And now to our story. With Lois Lane locked in a hotel room and Clark Kent involved in an automobile accident, the blonde young woman who posed as Dr. Roebling's daughter and is in reality his niece by marriage made good her getaway. Speeding across town, she joined her unscrupulous husband in a barren tenement room where he was trying to force his inventor uncle, Dr. Roebling, to turn over the rights to a new secret voice machine, so valuable it has been insured for $10 million. In the meantime, Kent has returned to the hotel from the scene of the accident. Hurrying to Lois's room, he finds her gone. Frantically, he searches the lobby and makes inquiry at the desk, but to no avail. Meanwhile, in room 514, where Lois has been unable to attract attention by pounding on the door, she has torn the bed sheets into strips and is knotting them together, preparing to lower herself out the 5th floor window.
Well, that's the last strip. If it isn't long enough to reach the ground now, there's nothing I can do. There. As tight as I can get it. Now to try it. Oh, I never knew the 5th floor of a building was so high. But It's like a long way down. An awfully long way. Well, only one thing to do. Find out whether this bedsheet rope will reach. Here goes. Out the window with it. Hard to see in the dark. Can't tell whether... Yeah, I see it. It reaches. Oh, that's a relief. Now, tie this end of it to the bed. Pull the bed over close to the window. There. That does it. Now, Lois, old girl, let's see how good a monkey you are. One leg over the sill. Just take it easy. It's a long drop if you make one slip. Now the other leg. So far, so good. Seems to be holding. Deep breath and down slowly. Hand over hand.
With amazing courage, Lois begins her perilous escape from the locked room, climbing down the improvised rope to the ground 5 stories below. But unknown to her, the swaying of her body is rubbing part of the knotted bedsheet against the sharp stone corner of the window ledge, gradually cutting into the material. At any moment it may rip and send Lois hurtling to her death on the stone courtyard below. Meanwhile, Clark Kent, unable to find Lois, has returned to the desk, where he makes further inquiry of the night clerk.
Are you sure you haven't seen Miss Lane? Try and remember. She's dark, about 5'4", and very pretty. She was wearing a gray pinstripe suit and a brown hat with a greenish feather.
I wonder.
You wonder what?
I wonder whether she could have been the young lady who asked for the key to 514.
514? No, that girl's blonde.
Oh, there were 2 of them, sir.
2 of them? What do you mean?
Oh, 2 young ladies asked for the key to 514.
What?
And as I recall, the first one answers the description quite accurately, except for the hat. She wasn't wearing a hat.
Oh, wait, let me get this straight. 2 girls asked for the key to room 514. The first was a brunette answering the description I gave you?
Yes, sir.
Well, did you give her the key?
Oh, yes, sir.
What about the second girl? Was she blonde?
I think she was, sir. I told her the first young lady had taken the key.
Yes?
She seemed puzzled, but she said nothing, just entered the elevator.
Okay, that's all I wanted to know. Thanks.
Going up, sir.
5th floor, please.
Fifth floor.
Thank you.
You're welcome, sir.
Good night. Oh, here's 514. There's sound coming from the room. Couldn't be 2 women in there, neither of them talking. That's impossible. Open up. Nothing doing. All right, we'll open from the outside.
That's Superman. This lock shouldn't be too hard to force.
But even as Superman slowly forces the locked door, grim tragedy is in the making in the room beyond. Worn through by constant rubbing against the stone window ledge, the knotted strips of bedsheet down which Lois is climbing are about to part. But the courageous girl reporter suspended 4 stories above a stone courtyard. Suddenly the material gives way. Lois screams as she hurtles down.
What was that? Someone screamed. No one here. What's that hanging out of the window? Great Scott. Lois falling. Down. Got her. Only a few inches from the pavement. That was too close for comfort. I better land and see if she's all right. Poor kid, she's limp as a rag. Fainted dead away. I can't blame her much. That's a long drop. The best thing to do is take her to her room. That's Clark Kent. No, that's no good. There'll be questions asked if I carried her through the lobby. I'll take her to my room through the window. Up! Now, up for the window. And inside. There we are. Now, a little cold water should bring her to. Now, if I can just get some of this past her lips. That's a good girl. Swallow it. That does the trick. I'd better assume Clark Kent's role before she opens her eyes.
You're all right, Lois. Take a little more water now. That's it.
Oh, I was falling. I think.
Now, just take it easy.
Clark, what happened? How did...
You're the luckiest girl alive, Miss Lane.
What happened? How did I get here? The last thing I remember, something gave way and I was falling. Oh, it's horrible.
And you won't believe this, Lois, but you fell on a pile of mattresses.
What?
On the level. I imagine the hotel was getting rid of some old mattresses, and they were piled up in the courtyard right under your window. If they hadn't been there, you wouldn't be talking to me now.
Well, that's funny. I didn't see any mattresses when I looked out the window before climbing down.
What on earth made you attempt anything so dangerous?
It was the only way I could get out of the room.
Why?
See, I got the key to win call 14.
As Lois recounts to Kent the reason for her attempted escape from the locked room, Dr. Roebling, inventor of the voice machine, is at the mercy of his unscrupulous nephew and his blonde wife. At the moment, the two conspirators are standing at one end of the bare room, watching Dr. Roebling attempt to rise from the chair in which he is seated.
What does that stuff do, Jack? The stuff you shot into his arm?
It's supposed to make him dopey. Put him in a sort of trance.
Let me go, Jack. He's my brother's son. My own flesh and blood.
He can't get out of the chair.
Stuff's beginning to work.
What happens when he goes into the trance?
Well, he'll do what I tell him. Sign that paper.
Jack, listen to me. Listen. Listen. Listen.
Okay. I think he's ready. Come on. Oh, get the pen.
Okay.
Uncle Walter.
Yes?
How do you feel, Uncle Walter?
I feel all right.
That's good. You remember you were going to sign a paper for me, Uncle Walter?
Paper? For what paper?
Don't you remember? Someone was trying to steal your voice machine, and you were going to sign a paper to keep him from stealing it. Oh, you must remember.
Yes. I remember.
Put the pen into his hand.
Right.
Now you're all ready to sign, Uncle Walter. Oh, you dropped the pen. Put it back in his hand. There, we picked it up for you. Now all you have to do is sign right here.
What am I signing?
I told you, Uncle Walter. It's to protect you from having your voice machine stolen. You want to be protected, don't you?
Yes. Protected.
That's why you're signing. Now, come. Just write Walter Roebling on this line. Hurry, Uncle Walter. There's so much time. That's it.
He's signing.
Shut up. Oh, no, Uncle Walter, don't stop. You must write your last name, too. You just signed Walter. Hold his arm up. We gotta work fast. That stuff will wear off. Come now. Finish it. There we are. R-O-E-C-L-I-N-G. That's fine. All right, come on, Chickie. Let's get out of here before he comes around.
Jack, you're marvelous. We've got it. It's on.
Stow the chatter. I'll take the suitcase. Come on.
Jack, you're my brother's son. My brother's son. Why are you doing this? Jack, my brother's son.
But where are we going, Clark?
I'd like to check the 218 State Street address penciled in the back of that envelope.
I still don't understand why you insisted on getting our car out of the garage instead of using a taxi.
I feel safer with a wheel in my own hands after that accident.
Well, I trust myself with most cabbies. They're good drivers.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Well, at least they don't go through red lights.
Oh, sorry. Didn't see it. The car stops on a dime. Good brakes.
Oh, there's the job I'd like to own.
Huh?
That blue roadster waiting for the light across the street.
Blue Roadster? Lois!
What's the matter?
That's the blue Roadster Catherine Roebling drove off in. Look, she's in it now. Sitting next to the man at the wheel.
There they go.
And we're going after them. Hold on.
Are you sure that's the girl?
Positive. I'm going to catch them if it's the last thing I do.
Can the car Kent is driving keep up with the blue Roadster? Or will Roebling's nephew escape with the papers his uncle signed? Superman may have to take a hand. As a matter of fact, he does in one of the most thrilling episodes you've ever heard. Don't miss it.
Don't forget, tune in again for the next thrilling episode with Superman.
Look, up in the sky.
It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman.
83 years ago, August 4th, 1941, Superman here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Thank you so much for making us a part of your day, and we will be back next time here with more great westerns, and we'll have some other things as well, crime even more. Visit our webpage, classicradio.stream. I'm Wyatt Cox, Classic Radio Theater.